You are about to listen to Only Fools and Collecting, a podcast for those who like a good moan about figure collecting and don't mind naughty words.
Alright, we are back. I'm going to start off with a little apology about how absolutely horseshit our last episode was, where my internet just absolutely fucked us right royally. So it was terrible, but luckily I've now got
content was good. Let's just clear up. The content was good, but the sound was shocking.
The content was great, but the sound was absolutely appalling. But I've now got a Wi-Fi extender thing, so hopefully after 65 episodes we had no fucking issue, and then it just blew up. So we're back, we're sorted, we're connected for the time being. All is well. And while I'm apologising, also need to apologise to Zach, because he's a very upset man, because no one replied to his message when he sent us some money. So we apologise. We're very sorry. We get that out of the way. He was very, very hurt by that. I'd message him, but I don't think he'd message back. But anyway, so we're here. Another great episode. And as you might have noticed, we are joined by Eddie, and Shane couldn't get enough of it. He's back again.
Yeah. Welcome, guys.
So, I think it was the Irish guest that ruined everything last time. You bring the Irish in, things just go to shit, man.
I honestly thought the luck of the Irish was going to be a good thing.
It's March, right?
Right, man.
It should be.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was March. Yeah. It was really close to Paddy's Day as well, and it just turned to shit, didn't it?
He wasn't even drinking.
I get the impression Shane's itching to talk about this guy on the on our poster page. So I think
the little fat one with a beard.
Yeah.
So let's start off by saying a big thank you to Backdrops and Bases for sponsoring before we completely forget our one and only sponsor. Thank you very, very much. And look, we have got the chat kicking off. We have Mark P. Hello. We've got Collector Joey. I'm assuming he's some kind of baby kangaroo that happens to collect. We got Punisher XS, Casual Nerd Problems, Bob Dylan. Nice. Equan, hello. Hold My Balls. That is probably the best name I've seen in ages. Hold My Balls. Fucking fantastic. And as per usual, Toy Mafia.
Yeah.
I will be
in the queue.
Deeply, deeply fucking concerned when we log on and he's not there. It will be a sad
he's not been sitting
day.
there for 2 hours. 2.5 hours.
Yeah. He's dedicated. He's really dedicated. But yeah, so Pete, go on, you kick us off.
Well, we were going to ask the guys. We haven't got slides from it. We're going to ask Shane and Eddie if they've got any new this week's first something. So Shane, do you want to talk about your mustard trooper?
Cool. Well, first of all, thanks very much for having me again. I'll be honest, I harassed the guys through Facebook for the last 2 weeks. Can I please? Eventually they caved, so nice to be streaming with Eddie. I've been a subscriber to Collecting Weekly since I think about maybe sometime in 2020. So it's great to actually meet you. So thanks. And the last thing I'd say is that Bob Dylan, I'm convinced Bob Dylan is like Chuck Norris. He doesn't sleep, he waits. He's everywhere. You know what I mean? So he's if there's a stream, he's there. He can sniff it out like so. Fast. I picked up the Mustard Trooper. I have the Incinerator Trooper, and I really like the Incinerator Trooper. And I just feel because the two of them, these condiments or complements, they complement each other quite well. It was either going to be get rid of the Incinerator Trooper, which I didn't want to do because I really liked it. And I particularly like the flame effect because I don't tend to use those. I picked up the Mustard Trooper, and it's kind of behind me there somewhere. I never know which direction to move it. It's about everything's back to front. The other way, it's there
up here. I can see. I can see the Incinerator. He's in the same one. He's just behind it.
That constantly fucks me up. I do that all the time. I'm like, it's here.
Yeah. I should be able to work this out. Carry the two. No. But yeah. So they look really good together. I haven't really posed it up properly. I just put it in the shelf. But I'm gonna do an episode or two of them, pose them up in 3 different ways and bang it up. So I'm looking forward to that because they look really nice together. Just the colors pop, So Trooper addict.
Yeah, because standard troopers don't get near enough love.
Yeah,
So it's
I
nice to
love
see
the
some
standard trooper.
variations.
Yeah,
Mm.
I love
Yeah, I
the
do
standard
too.
trooper. It's just I think it's probably one of the most iconic ones. It mightn't be the most creative design. Like I think obviously the Shore Trooper and Dead Troopers get a lot of attention and things like the assault tank commander with the extra large kind of
Yeah.
jaw.
Yeah.
But straight up and down Empire Strikes Back. I just always have a soft spot for it because it just throws back to the original trilogy, and plus my girlfriend bought me that one, so it's never leaving. Like it's just that little bit of a it's a gift. So it's So that's it. Mustard Trooper. May have ordered something, but we'll talk about that later maybe.
Come to that in a minute, yeah.
Nice pickup,
About
man.
yourself, Eddie.
Thanks, man.
I haven't had a lot come in, but I just wanted to mention these because I got my first head printed out from Watto, and then printed out or painted head from Ian. So
Cool.
you're not. My camera isn't gonna fucking give it the justice it deserves, but it looks amazing. Like he did a great job. Both the print and Ian painted it superbly. So I'm very happy with them. And Watto originally didn't want to do the smiling sculpt because he doesn't do figures with teeth, and I asked him if he could because it's, by the way, it's Tom Welling from Smallville. I'm trying to make a Clark Kent figure, put it together, but he's constantly smiling in that show. It's like an iconic look, so I had to get that face, and Ian killed it, man. It looks really good, dude. So
cheers.
Very, very happy with those. I just need to slowly put that figure together. I need to get a body and clothing and
check shirt.
Yeah, exactly. Flannel somehow.
He was all about the flannel, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
That was really like my only pickup. I mean, I got a bunch of other random dumb shit, but that's like the 1/6 scale stuff. So, very happy with that, man. Appreciate it, Ian.
No worries, mate. It was nice to paint something that wasn't armor or a helmet or something like, because that's all I seem to be doing lately is just faders or anything like that, or a maul, or this. It was nice to go back and do something that was actually a bit flesh coloured. Yeah. So it was good.
Yeah. Just before that, sorry, I put this slide in. We don't normally kind of dwell on this sort of thing, but we did lose a couple of very well known and loved collectors in the community this week. Dale Inns and Jamie Cranny. A lot of people probably didn't know them in person, but I've certainly sort of chatted to them a lot on Messenger and on the groups, and I think I bought a figure from Dale years ago, and it was just a big shock really, because they sort of went within a couple of days of each other. Dale passed first, and everyone was like, and then all of a sudden, so it's just shout out to them, thoughts with their families, and obviously it's been nice to see the community come together with messages and donations and things. So just rest in peace, guys. Very sad.
Yeah. Well said, Pete. Well said.
Yeah, cool. So for me, I haven't got any 1/6 news. It just seems that I thought I was going to have loads of pre-orders dropping this quarter, but I think everything's just ground to a halt, hasn't it? So everything's sort of been pushed back a bit. So I haven't had anything in 1/6, but this just came today. So this is the builder figure from the Diamond Select Lord of the Rings figures. So they're kind of I think they're like 7-inch scale, and they're not bad. The figures themselves are okay, but I don't really want to collect the smaller scale. All I wanted was to get this Sauron. So you got to buy the 6 figures from the first 3 waves to build Sauron. So the figures were Legolas, Gimli, Frodo, Ringwraith, Aragorn, and a Moria Orc, which gives you all the parts. So basically, these all came in today. So I've literally just taken them out of the boxes, taken the Sauron bits out, built him, and then I've got the others up for sale, a nicely reduced price. Because I looked to buy the Sauron, and people were charging ridiculous money, like over £100. So I figure if I can sell the figures for what I've got them, it probably cost me about 40 quid, which I don't mind. And so he's like a 7-inch scale, but he's about 10 inches tall because he's a big boy. And it's pretty cool, to be honest. And I don't ever see me owning like a 1/6 scale Sauron. One for the the size of him is not going to fit in my cabinets, and two, the cost of it. I mean, I think that the cheapest I've seen was like £700-800 or something, and I thought, fuck that. But this, to me, I really like this design. This is obviously him kind of in the big battle at the end of the Second Age, and so I'll put him in like the sort of the random Lord of the Rings shelf in my Billy, and he looks pretty cool. So he's good. Like him.
Very cool.
So
looking good.
Please, people, come and buy my figures off me.
Are you planning to give him like a custom cape or anything, or you just gonna leave?
Does he have a cape?
I don't remember.
I'll have a look.
In the movie,
I'll have a look.
But on the
If
Prime 1 statue, he does. They give him.
if
like
he
a
does,
tattered
Eddie,
up
I will.
black cape.
Yeah, I'll look into that. He may well have. I can't remember, but if he has,
Because you only really see him from kind of like nipples up in the film. Like, you don't really see that much of him.
No. There's a couple of like wider shots, like when he whacks them with the mace and the kind of the shockwave comes out. But another cool thing is these figures are obviously the design is wetter, but the design, the build design for these figures are done by Eamon from the Hot Toys.
Before you were going to say
podcast.
Eamon Holmes, then.
Well, that would be cool. I mean, no. Is it Eamon O'Donoghue who does the Hot Toys podcast every now and again?
Yes. Yeah.
So that's quite cool that he's he's done the schematics for these as well. So but that's it. That's it for now. So
Mark's confirmed he has a cape.
That's
the
cool.
authority has spoken.
I know.
I'm straight on that after this.
Yeah,
he is the authority. Yeah, definitely.
That's a cool pickup, Pete. I think that's the coolest thing of that line is that Build-A-Figure. So
yeah, definitely.
sick.
I mean, the other figures are nice, and if I didn't have like a 1/6 representation, I'd probably keep them. They're nice figures, and they're about £25 here, so I think they're about $25. So they're good for the money. But this is the boy I wanted. So happy with him.
See the way it's kind of purple. Is that like a light that you have just shining on it? Is it?
Oh, that's just my Billy's to the side there, so it's just kind of.
You have some sort of a light there.
Right, they're just lit up, and there's a few lightsabers and stuff. So it's probably just.
Pete's just really, really lazy. He's not taking his Christmas tree down yet.
Yeah, the purple actually
on
that left side is from Mace Windu's lightsaber.
Right, yeah.
It looks pretty cool.
It kind of reminded me of. I used to have that Black Panther figure. And when you had the blue light, it had the vibranium effect. It was deadly.
It does. I hadn't even noticed it. It looks pretty cool, actually. Yeah,
it does look pretty cool.
That'd be Mace's lightsaber doing that. Cool. And Ian, you've been on a little holiday.
In the words of Bilbo Baggins, I went on an adventure. It was my boy's birthday, so we went to Legoland, and we stayed the night in in the castle hotel and did all that kind of shit. It was great. It was such a good weekend because the way they did the hotel and that up is you are staying in a fucking Lego castle, which is awesome.
Yes.
And then you get in like the lifts and shit, and you press your room key to go up, and because it's like castle themed, all the lights dim, and then this voice plays that like they're casting a spell to get you to the right floor. Then all the lights come back up, and you're on your floor. So there's loads of nice little touches like that, and then you get in your room, and there's a quiz. So there's like a treasure hunt that you have to go around the room, and there's all this stuff on the walls. Like there's
it's like how many bats or things like that.
Yeah, how many bats, how many keys, and all that kind of stuff. And when you work it all out, it gives you a code, which opens the safe in the room. And then there's a Lego goodie bag in there with loads of bits of Lego and stuff for the boy to play in.
Brilliant.
It's really good. There's like a Lego pit in the room that you just loads of blocks. You can make whatever you want. There's a PlayStation in there with all the Lego games on. So my boy was in his element.
I mean, let's get
really
real
good.
here though. Obviously, as soon as you walked in, they bent you over and they milked you dry. I mean, it's not cheap.
Oh,
It's very,
Yeah.
very, very
Yeah.
expensive, but it is
I
amazing,
wish-
and
yeah.
for a once in a lifetime for kids, it's incredible.
Yeah, I wish they hadn't have gone in so dry. It was so expensive. It was so fucking expensive.
Yeah,
You know, buy me a drink first, for fuck's sake. But it was good. It was really good, and obviously, like, the park itself is great. You go into the shop, and I had to be a really good boy and thought, right, I picked it up. I picked up the Lego Batmobile from the Batman, the big one. I was like,
oh yeah, the Technic one. Yeah.
and I was looking at it, and it was 180 quid, and I know for a fact I can get that cheaper outside of Legoland. Everything in there you can get cheaper outside Legoland.
Yeah.
But while you're in there, you're like, I fucking love this. Why don't I buy it now? And I was like, no, be good.
I could build it in
behave
my
yourself.
Lego room. Yeah.
Exactly. I was like, behave yourself. And then I went over to the Star Wars stuff, and it was so I thought, I'll be good. I'll get one thing, and it was a choice between this, which is the hallway scene from The Mandalorian with Luke, or you could get the meditation chamber from Empire. And I looked at both, and this was 25 quid, and the meditation chamber was like 50 quid. And I looked at them, and I thought, actually, I much prefer this as a set.
Yeah.
This was better. So I was very good. I said, I'll just get this. This is my little treat. And I turn around, and my boy's got like 4 boxes of shit. And I'm like, so like he literally, when we got back the next day, he just sat there for like 4 hours and just made all his Lego stuff. Like, it was great. And I'm like sitting next to him like another child, just making my little Lego set. But yeah, this was my only pickup of the last couple of weeks. And as Lego sets go, I really like it because it's dead
it's pretty
simple.
cool, and
It does
Not a
exactly
bad
what it
price,
says on the tin. No, exactly, and it didn't absolutely fuck my wallet like the rest of the weekend did. So
Yeah,
I was quite happy with that in the end.
Did you eat in the like in the buffet kind of place, or?
It's the weirdest meal I've ever had in my life. The strangest meal I have ever had.
Like the combination of stuff.
It weren't even that. It was the fact that you expect it. So in we were in the Castle Hotel. We booked breakfast in that one, and then we booked dinner in the hotel next door, which is a little bit, kind of, which is, it looks a little bit kind of run down, and it looks a bit kind of Butlins-y.
That's where the main restaurant is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I was expecting, shit food, and it was really nice. But it was like eating, because it was a 3-course meal, but it was like eating a 3-course meal in the middle of a school canteen. Like, it was the weirdest.
It's absolute fucking mayhem, isn't it? It's just like
chaos.
It's trashed and like
yeah. And because we took my boy out of school, all the other kids there were really young, so we never really had to queue up for much because everyone of my boy's age was all at school. So
nice.
Yeah, so it was really good, but yeah, the evening was a really surreal experience, and it didn't help that I just sat there going, "I'll have a Magnus, please. I'll have a Magnus, please. I'll have a Magnus, please." Slowly getting wankered in Legoland, which was fantastic.
Is it in the Netherlands? Netherlands?
No, it's
no. It's in Windsor,
in the UK.
Oh, right,
Windsor.
Yeah.
There's different ones, isn't there?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
they've definitely got them in the Netherlands. But,
so this was the one at Windsor. So you literally drive past the castle for about another 5 minutes, and you're there.
The thing that fucked me off, we did. Well, I was properly rinsed out because we did 2 nights there a couple of years ago, and
your arsehole must have been like a clown's pocket after that.
It was shocking, mate.
Fucking hell.
But the first morning we went down to breakfast. They got those big like containers of the orange juice and the apple juice, the fruit juice, everything, and I'm thinking like, oh, they're empty. Oh, they need to fill them up. And then like you look again and they're empty. I'm like, how is it going? And there's fuckers and they've got their drinks bottles and they're filling them up from the bloody apple juice and the orange juice. They're opening up all those drawers and nicking all the fruit. there's like drawers, aren't there, and stuff that have got apples and they're like filling their fucking bags up, and like I'm like, Jesus Christ. But then again, the price of stuff, you got to do that because you can't afford to pay for lunch.
It's so expensive. No wonder people are like fucking fucking filling up. I would.
Did you watch any of the shows as well, like the pirate show and the?
No, so they weren't on, but I've seen them before. Last time we went, and they're normally pretty good. But
They're good,
there was a new ride. There was 2 new rides. There was a Mythosaur one, which you literally sat. You sat in these big, long, kind of like tube things, and then they spun round, and you're in like a big 360 cinema. So effectively, it's like 4DX, and you're sitting there, and it's fucking throwing you about and giving it all that. Yeah. So that was pretty good. And then the one that fucked us up the most was it's this like haunted house.
Yeah,
we hadn't been on it before.
Yeah, that looked cool.
Yeah, so you walk in, and it's like a big dining room table. So you sit in, and they tell you to strap in. You think, what the fuck am I strapping in for? Because they don't actually show you anything about it before you go in. So you sit there, and then slowly the room starts to go like that, and you thought, okay, I can deal with this. But at the same time, the whole outside of the room was spinning like that. So it felt like you were like upside down at one point, but you clearly weren't. But it just really fucked with your head. Yeah, because you were like, I can't figure this out, because you can feel gravity pulling you, but in your head you're going, well, I'm clearly on the ceiling now, so this doesn't make sense. But yeah, it was good. Yeah, it was a really good. I'd highly recommend doing it again. So if you've got a kid that's into Lego, it's the greatest thing they can ever do. Like, I remember with Jack, just the look on his face when we walked into that room, and he's like, and the kids have got their own little room, haven't they? They've got the bunk beds, they've got the TV and all that, and it's got like a slidey door thing, so they're kind of like separate. It's just they absolutely loved it. Yeah, it was fantastic. It was a really good night.
Yeah,
really good night.
Because he had fun.
So cool. I always wanted to go to Legoland. That was like one of the theme parks I never went to as a kid. We have it, I think out here it's in San Diego.
Yeah.
But that's cool, dude. Would you go there if you didn't have a kid though? Like, would you recommend that for like just?
No.
I think you'd have nonce written on your head, to be honest. It's
yeah.
It's a bit of a dodgy one. I think we saw a few like adults on their own, and you just think, is there something dodgy going on there?
Big trench coat, slowly wanking in the corner.
Yeah.
All right, I can't go then.
Yeah. If you went with
really quick on that
with your girlfriend, it'd be fine because But yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, then maybe I can go if I go.
Yeah, I think if you're just on your own,
just for a day,
just walking around with your tongue out, I think people might.
I don't know. There might be like hot moms there, That might
Yeah.
This set, does it have like a lever action where like Luke spins around, or is that what that is?
Yeah. So at the top there, you've got that little knob above the lift. When you twiddle that, he spins around in the lift, and then you've got a couple of like places that you put the figure on, and that bit that moves, you push it in and out. And it slides backwards and forwards.
That's called the
so
hand
you
of
can
God.
Move so you can move the trooper in and out.
Jeez. They call it something like that because they do it on the vehicles. So as you push the vehicle along, you can use that to turn it, and it's like there's someone in it. They don't call it the hand of God, but it's something like that.
the slidey stick.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Cool features.
Yeah, it's a good set. It was good.
Such a cool scene as well, like, it's just,
amazing.
Just when they nail it, they nail it.
Yeah, they do it really well. So let's have a look at new releases, shall we?
New releases.
Look at this one. Right, I've got a feeling my cat's just pissed in front of the door, so I'm going to go deal with that while you lot talk about this.
Brilliant.
Fucking brilliant. I'll tell you, you couldn't make my life up.
Did you hear it or smell it?
No. I saw my missus dealing with it, and I better go put another pad down because so my cat, where I am in my little dolly room, right, there's a door there that leads out to kind of like the front door. So if I shut that, the cat's like, fuck you, this is my territory, and has to piss there. So I put these puppy pads down, and again, fucking like 60 odd episodes, the prick hasn't done anything. Today, when everything's working, the cat's like, fuck you, Ian. Fuck you. So, I shall be back in a minute. Talk about this Ahsoka with her non-bendy arms. Back in a minute.
Oh,
Do you want to take the lead on this, Eddie? You're the big Clone Wars fan.
am I?
Here. So yeah,
I
You love
don't know
Clone
the
Wars. You love
release
the-
info. You
Oh,
have the
okay.
release info? Or
I
you go ahead
do.
and
I
I'll
have the
talk about
release
it.
info. She's £250. Apparently, no. She's. I think the price that she's going for in the secondary market is much more than that now. I don't know if Sideshow's sent theirs out yet. I know it's coming. The Hong Kong first releases are coming through, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I don't really. I think I've watched the last 4 episodes of season 7 of Clone Wars because people said you should watch that because it takes place in the time period of Revenge of the Sith and it's about Order 66 and stuff. So I have a little experience of the character, but not massively. But the figure looks good. I think it looks good. It looks quite.
Did you?
faithful
So you
to-
you only saw that of Clone Wars? You didn't see anything
yeah,
else?
that's
just
all I've
that?
watched. Just
Oh, man.
because.
Dude, watch it. Take the time.
Yeah, I know, maybe, but I can't.
You got to sit through that first season, man, and then
If you
once
tell
you get
me,
through that,
if you tell me the episode's absolutely not to watch, because as soon as one comes on where it's like
Jar
clearly
Jar
aimed at
or
5-year-old kids,
C3PO, and
it just
yeah.
puts me right off, and I just don't want to watch anymore. Whereas I
There's
enjoyed
a
those.
list online, I think, that you
Yeah.
can get that has.
Yeah, I enjoyed the 4. Like it's like a mini movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's
That
an
was pretty
ingenious
good.
idea, though. Like, I haven't watched them all. I'm on like I think I'm the start of season 3 because I like completing things. Like I know you can cherry pick and you can go online and find like the essential episode, but I like to go through. So I have them on the background doing work, but it's an ingenious idea, like because it's the first few seasons, from what I hear and what I can see, are very, very childish, geared towards kids. But it's like the show grew and become more complex, from what I understand, as the target audience will grow from like kids to like teenagers to, at this stage now adults. Like it's very, very good reeling them in, marketing, but I've heard it gets like really, really, really good, so I'm gonna stick with it. But
I think it's around season 3 when it really takes off, because I think that's when they introduce more characters and it gets more in depth, and it's really.
So I've
good.
done the hard work then.
Hey, my bad, Pete. When you said talk about it, I was thinking for some reason it's a newly solicited figure, and now I'm like realizing this is a fucking release. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
The
it's a
info
release,
on the my
she's
bad.
out, man.
This is cool though, dude. I want it because I think it looks good. I think from proto to production, I think they improved on her face, and it looks
better.
more Clone Wars like. Like at first, it looked like maybe a real take on her, or like just slightly different to fit your already Hot Toys collection of Star Wars figures. But these new photos, I think they really did a great job on the face. So I think it looks really good, and I'm tempted to get it, man.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's in hot demand as well, so you'll have to have a look at that. But back to yourself, Ian. I know you're a massive fan of the Clone Wars. We were just talking a little bit about that.
I love it. I was just elbow deep in cat piss. So,
and talking about that,
a
you're
lot
going
of
to talk
piss.
about the elbows now, aren't you? As a little segue.
these are literally the only fucking photos I've seen of it where no one's posing it like that because they're too petrified to fucking bend the arms. I like Clone Wars. I like Ahsoka. This looks okay. It doesn't offend me. It's just every photo I've seen just looks horseshit because the arms are so straight that it automatically looks like it just makes it look cheap. But I get it because Hot Toys aren't great at all with seamless bodies. I'd almost wish sometimes Hot Toys would just use a little bit of creative license. So what I would have done if I was them was given us joints, and I would have taken it, covered it up, just extend her gauntlets up just past the elbow, and I'd be happy as Larry.
sleeves.
Yeah,
She did have sleeves at some point in the Clone Wars, I think. that went up
Yeah.
to her arm here. Maybe when, like, in earlier on or something.
Yeah.
So they could have just done blue sleeves, I guess.
Yeah, because then that way, when these eventually tear, like we all know they will, it's not such a problem. Or you've got joints and it's just not a problem at all.
Yeah.
But yeah, and the thing is, 250 is about what it was originally going for. I've seen them go for 350.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh
Just-
yeah, they're stupid. And
Yeah,
the thing
it's not worth that.
No. I've got a couple of things to mention about the lightsabers. Obviously, they're not light up on this. These are photoshopped because, obviously, with the seamless arms, they can't put the batteries in, stuff like that. So they're non-light up. And also, I always assumed that her blades were white because they were in the Mandalorian. But obviously,
not in
having
Clone
watched
Wars.
the last few episodes of the Clone Wars, then they are blue. So this is obviously accurate to that. But as I say, they don't light up. I mean, I'm sure that obviously there's people working on the people will be doing the CCFL versions. Although, again, I don't know if it comes across so much in the Mando that obviously one of the sabers is quite a bit shorter. It's more like a kind of like a short sword. And as yet, and he won't answer my question. The Krista Guzman, the main man in the CCFL, I keep asking him how he does the Yoda ones because they're obviously shorter. He must be able to find a 4-inch CCFL tube, and the smallest I've ever found is a 6. So he's keeping that very close to his chest.
Could he not be? Could he not be hiding some of the actual?
I don't
tube
think
in
so
the hilt?
because I don't think so because Yoda's like the hilt is quite small as well. There's too much to hide within the hilt, and also he does the Kylo Ren saber with the 2 side bits, which are only quite short, and he's done blasters as well.
Yeah.
But I keep asking him. I don't know why he won't tell me where he gets them from. It's not like I'm,
Do you
doing
know
him
if
out of
those
business or
guys
anything,
do
but-
statue stuff too?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
would
yeah,
they do
yeah, they do.
statue ones?
Yep.
You gotta send me those links
you
or
can
that
do
info because I gotta.
premium format.
I would do
and
that
stuff.
for my mom.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, more
you'd
would
have
really good.
to. How does that work? Does the
The saber is
hilt
separate.
come away? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd have
you
to
pull it apart. Yeah.
So you'd have to send the hilt off, which is a little bit of a risk, but
Yeah.
and then they'll obviously. I mean, I'd give it a go myself, to be honest, if you trusted me, because I've done 6 scale more. But what's the material made of? What's the saber made
I
of?
think the saber itself is PVC.
Okay, so
Like
that's
the
fine.
hilt
So-
part. Yeah,
yeah,
I think it
yeah,
is. I'll
yeah,
have to
yeah.
double check later, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. I know the
If-
blade part is. So
Yeah, if you have a look, and then if you think it's something that could be drilled without
cracking. Yeah.
Cracking basically, yeah. And also if you measure the length of the blades as well. But yeah, I've done them all. Yeah, so you obviously can get these
Nice.
shorter ones, but I don't know where yet. So, but yeah.
Where do you guys fall on that argument of they should give you 2 sets of arms with joints and seamless so everybody could be happy? You guys think that's what they should
No,
do?
I think that's a myth. Everyone happy? Come on, we're collectors.
I know, I agree with that.
No.
Yeah, I
think
agree with
they
this
were-
one. You could do it because her shoulders are covered, so the joints of the arms
Yeah.
where they fit in would be covered. Yeah, it's not a massive
Yeah.
expense, is it? Really for them?
I think most of the time it's impractical to do it. But with stuff like this, like Pete says, because the shoulders are pretty much
Yeah,
covered,
you could have them pop in.
you
and
could
out.
pop them in and out. It wouldn't be much of a problem. Obviously, the cost would go up because they're giving you more, more bits. But for stuff like this, I think it would be a good idea.
And they could have made
they
some
could have
lights.
done-
They could have done
Yeah,
the lights.
that's what I was
Although,
gonna say.
to be honest, they're pretty shit. The lights
Yeah.
in those things, they're not really worth the time of day. So, but I agree that having the jointed arms, just from you know, a preserving the figure kind of view would be good. And you know, what would that cost Hot Toys? Another few dollars. You know, they could always whack it on the price. People would happily pay a little bit more. I think. But yeah, definitely. And you know, they're just very inconsistent, I guess, with this one, because they've gone with this look with the bare arms. It made sense, but then.
I think after the Joker release, I don't think price is ever an argument anymore. If you give someone something worthwhile, they will pay.
Yeah. I mean, if this is like your favorite character in Star Wars, then you're gonna pay whatever it takes. And I completely agree.
Did you guys see any reviews on it? I was watching Justin's review, and he was like, one of the three things he didn't like was the tattering on the bottom of the skirt. He felt like it was cheaply done, and
like they're gonna cut it.
Just clipped it because it was all jagged. I don't love the material that like the suit's made. Like it doesn't. I don't know why it looks cheap. It's not just the cutting. Like I feel like the legs look cheap. And...
Do you remember what was it? It was one of Thanos' bad guys. It came out and everything was just kind of printed on texture.
Yeah,
it kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
Where it's
is that the Corvus Glaive, maybe?
Corvus Glaive.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, it reminds me of that. It's kind of like, it looks pretty cheap. If I'm in all honesty, it doesn't look good. It's almost like they decided to go down. We want. It's almost like they've gone. We want a realistic head sculpt, and we want an animated body. We want that. So it kind of sits in the middle, and it doesn't quite hit the mark. But it's probably the best option we've got at the moment.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. No, it's a cool thing.
I think it looks great. It looks good. The I like. Sorry, go on.
I was just going to say, I think it's greater than the sum of its parts. I think if you take it all apart individually and go, this looks like shit, that looks cheap, but when you shove it all together, it works.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and it looks good with the cape on as well, the cloak as well.
I'm a sucker for those like ponchos, like the the cable poncho or the the Mando Luke with the hood. I'm just a sucker for that stuff, like that poncho.
Do you know when you went? Do you know if you go back and you go, say, 30 years ago, and you look at films that were released, and there's all flying cars, and their vision of the future was very much like it's going to be this amazing time. Fast forward to now, and our vision of the future is it's slightly chilly because everyone has to wear a poncho.
Yeah.
You know, it's not so much flying cars and stuff, it's ponchos. That's where we think we're going to be in hundreds of years' time, is regardless of what we're wearing, poncho. Particularly in the Star Wars world.
Yeah. It just looks so goddamn cinematic, though.
Yeah, I know, that's the thing they do.
It's like you are so mysterious, you got a poncho. Yeah. Something about a hood, it either says like, I don't know, you're a Jedi or you're about to rob the convenience store. It's like,
Yeah, the only problem with Hot Toys is that you run the risk of permanently staining your head sculpt by having the hood up. So it's a bit of bending the arms on this figure, you know.
It does make you fucking wonder, doesn't it, why we even bother? Like, we've got figures. You got figures you can't put a fucking hood on without having shit streaks all over the head. We've got figures that are like seamless, that are made out of like fucking breast implants that just rip open. Like, what? You know, what the fuck? What are we doing? Like, we're spending £300-400 on shit that breaks in 2 seconds. Like, why do we bother?
Like, just looking at these photos here, I'm not getting this because I don't collect Clone Wars, so it's the first thing I'll say. I from what we're eventually going to talk about later on, like I stay in my lane a lot so that when I have an emotional meltdown about something like dropped in the last week, I can go, I'm getting that because I avoided X, Y, Z. I stayed in my lane, so I'm staying in my lane. I don't collect Clone Wars, but I have the Rosario Dawson on order. So like, I'm really happy for everyone who's like really, really waited patiently way too long for this. But like, I agree with what you're saying about the arms, because like for me, like when I pose a figure, it's like I wouldn't say just straight up and down like museum pose, but maybe a slight tweak here and there, like a character pose. I don't need it doing backflips. But if I got this, and when I get the Rosario Dawson, like that bottom image there where the arms are straight and the lightsaber's out, that's good enough for me because it still looks cool. But I don't have to have, is this going to explode? Like, you know, but I totally get like I would go for likeness over posability and articulation personally. But like they do market them as articulated figures. So there is that kind of like, you know, you're going to bend an elbow and then you run the risk of coming back. And
because we're not talking about mental poses here. We're talking about going like that.
Giving someone a wave.
Yeah, exactly.
Anakin,
like,
hello there.
Yeah, exactly.
A 30-degree bend of the elbow.
You know.
Yeah. Simple.
If we were on Figure Wars, we'd be complaining that was a dynamic move. Like a dynamic pose. Happening. And I think Bob Dylan here has probably got the best comment. I don't need this negativity while I comb my rooted hair figures. It takes concentration. Brilliant.
That's funny.
It's funny. Yeah.
So look, let's move on to stuff that is going to come out because we've done the whole one thing that has come out.
Yeah.
Coming soon.
I'm just going to go to sleep for the next half an hour, I think.
Well, I don't know if anyone knows about this because it's probably the community's best kept secret. A company called Queen Studios, no one really knows who they are doing. Have got another little company called InArt Studios. Now, do you remember not the last Batman film, but the one before that? You know, the little known Christian Bale one. Well, I don't know if you know, but there was an actor called Heath Ledger who actually played the Joker. And there hasn't been any figures really of this so far. But what this company have done, which is really good, is they've taken that and they've made it into 2 6-scale figures. Some with rooted hair and some without. Oh, I know, interesting. Sorry, I'm being sarcastic. So this is the InArt Joker. This is out September to December 2022, and it comes in 3 flavours. You have your standard, your premium, and you've gone absolutely fucking balls deep, the deluxe. So the standard is 235, the premium is 445, and the deluxe is 750. So the standard is a single figure with plastic hair. Ugh, why would anyone want that? The premium has 2 head sculpts with rooted hair because, you know, you're worth it. And the deluxe has fucking everything. Like, absolutely fucking everything. Dios, magnetized fucking hands. You've got magnetized bases.
The middle one's got plastic hair as well. It's only the
it has as well.
Deluxe.
It's only
the deluxe.
The only difference between the middle and the deluxe is the hair.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've got a page break in my show sheet, and I missed the premium. So I was like,
So if you want rooted hair, you've got to go for the top of the line double pack.
Yeah. So that's that. Let's move on.
I love it.
You know, what do you guys think? Because I like it.
Well, I believe that Shane has ordered this, and Eddie, have you as well?
Yeah, I ordered the 2-pack.
Go on then, you guys wax lyrical on this for a little while. Tell us what you like about it.
You are ready.
Talk to me.
I think it's phenomenal. I mean, if it comes out like this is fabulous. I hope it comes out like this. I'm a little worried because obviously this is a new company to 1/6.
Yeah.
And we've, you know, like Ian has said, the community has beat this to hell. So with you know what they think is gonna happen, what all this shit, and I don't really give a fuck about it. Also, I had to buy it to get it in hand to judge it for myself. You know.
Do you know the one question that came up repeatedly that I was like, for fuck's sake, kill me now? It was, is this articulated? So, for fuck's sake, really?
Yeah.
Literally every single thread was like, has this got articulation?
Yeah, everything apart from the wrist. Yep.
Yes, for fuck's sake, yes.
Look at the pictures. Like,
I know, exactly. I was like, what are they giving you? Like fucking 30 different versions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, each one's a separate figure.
Once this figure can do this,
Yeah.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Open the
that's true.
Open the jacket, show off the grenades. I'm happy enough. Take
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
money. Yeah.
I think the things that stood out to me were, I'm not a big fan of rooted hair, usually, but I think it looks very well done here.
Yeah.
The sculpted hair doesn't look bad to me. It just doesn't look as good as the rooted. And then
Yeah.
That's what
exactly
I thought.
that.
It still looks pretty good for sculpting.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know,
And the hands are phenomenal, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
The hands are insane. I love the fact that they're the forearm that we've seen before, that
And
you don't have the break in the wrists.
as well.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about pegs or anything like that.
Yeah. Amazing, too.
It's cool.
So you don't got to worry about breaking anything.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great. And like I said, I hate the speculation. It annoys me. It really does in the community. I don't know like why there's so much of it. So I got it because I want to get it in hand and see for myself. And
Yeah.
you know, the first figure, and hopefully it comes out as fabulous.
Yeah,
as
and
it
I think
looks.
I like the 6-month pre-order to release window as well. If they're able to hit
that was quick. Wasn't
yeah, I mean
expecting
that.
that.
Yeah, that's nice because that's a reasonable amount. You know, when you talk about 2 years of Hot Toys, you just get a bit jaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so.
Well, 2 years plus in a lot of cases.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've ordered as well, Shane. This is one of your grails, I believe.
Yeah, I never really liked that word. I always get a bit cringy when people say it. But like, yeah, I have feelings.
Yeah.
Right now, there's so many thoughts in my head, and the message has been sent to my vocal cords, and it's coming out like that. So, look, I won't go on. Like, I agree with everything Eddie said. Like, yeah, the speculation. Look, it looks good. For me, I don't know what other people's experiences are, but I'm just talking about Hot Toys. Typically, when I see a prototype and I order, I get what I pay for. There are missteps, but 99% of the time, it looks, like the prototype or very, very close. Like, any of the figures here, I've never really gone, no, I don't like that and cancelled. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would have if I had ordered the Tony Stank as the go-to example. I would have just cancelled that, like, because I'd be like, no, that does not look like the prototype or anywhere close.
Mate, I've got the Asmus Ash on pre-order, and I'm literally like,
The Evil Dead.
Fuck's sake, yeah. I'm literally, I'm one more review away from just fucking cancelling it.
You Asmus guys are like a battered wife. I swear.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah.
Keep going back for more.
Honestly.
Yeah, so this is look, I stay in my lane, like I said earlier on. Like, certain things I don't collect. I don't collect sequels, never liked them. I don't collect Clone Wars. I do kind of hand-pick things that I really, really like. I'm not a completionist, thankfully. I love that DeLorean they released. I think it's stunning. I think it's beautiful. But I'm not getting sucked in because I know at heart I'm not a major Back to the Future fan. The Ecto one is phenomenal. But, like, literally... I have a shed that I bought a few weeks ago, and that's for some bikes. That's the only place I can think where to put that, so not getting that. So I've sidestepped so much, stayed in my lane for moments like this. I've even sold my Ledger Joker, really old one. It was like the very first one Hot Toys did, because it was getting dated. It was nothing like this. It didn't have the head sculpt. It didn't have that rooted or sculpted hair. It didn't have that tailoring or those weird, creepy Addams Family hands that looked like they're going to run around the place. Yeah, I had to. And even if Hot Toys, people say, oh, what if Hot Toys come out and get another one? Yeah, I'll have a look at that too. And I may even get that, and then eventually sell off the ones to keep the favourites, you know what I mean? Because I don't need a million Jokers. Do you know what I mean? So that sculpted, I think, is better than any version that we've got in 6 scale, personally.
Yeah.
I ordered that.
I think that includes the Craig ones and stuff that were going for silly money, and then people charging £400 or £500 to root it and stuff like that. So I think what you're getting, I mean, I've got some things to say about like the pricing and stuff like that, but I think from what you're getting, I don't think that it'll be a disappointment. I think if the tailoring and everything comes out as it is, and that head sculpt is that good, then you can see the work that's gone into it. You can see the artistry and stuff. I appreciate that.
Like
as I've said before, I'm not.
Sorry, go on.
No, carry on.
Sorry, I know I cut across.
I'm not the biggest fan of. I like the Nolan movies. I like his performance, but I don't. To me, it's not any more special than any other Jokers or anything, and so it's not a figure that I've ever owned or wanted to own. But obviously, you know, this new player coming into the 1/6, you know, does have some sort of real big kind of connotations and opportunities, I suppose. So, but yeah, if you've got anything more to say about the figure, carry on, and I'll chip in afterwards. If you,
or just basically, when I break it down, it kind of, again, a lot of what Eddie said, I completely agree about the qualities of it, and I would tend to go towards sculpted hair. I've never been a fan of rooted hair because often I don't think it looks right, but this, it looks like a photo. And I know, look, it's a gamble. It's a gamble. It may not turn out like the prototype, but personally, from ordering Hot Toys, you tend to get, a lot of the time, it does look like the prototype. I've never really been too disappointed. I know this is not Hot Toys, it's Queen Studios. I ordered the sculpted hair one. I took your advice with Toys Buying Agent. So I ordered with them. It's like 50% down. Now, I had a pre-order preview done. I mentioned this backstage before we started, because I was like, I couldn't decide if I wanted the sculpted hair or the rooted hair, and I had money aside for moments like this, and I was like, right, I'm going to get the rooted hair as well. I looked at Spec Fiction, I looked at all of them. I looked at the 1/6 kit and Toys Wonderland, the Devil, and I looked at a load of people, and even did a pre-order preview video and said, I'm not going to go for Toys Wonderland because I tend to go for them when they really drop down prices, because it compensates for the terrible shipping costs.
When someone's died or something like that, it just shoots up.
But
for this, why I nearly committed to getting the sculpted...
Well, Ledger's been dead for ages, so the price is, you know,
oh God, Jesus.
The price is stabilised.
But for this, I was so close to getting the single pack and the double pack rooted with Toys Buying Agent, but I priced the double pack rooted with Toys Wonderland. It was coming in more or less the same, maybe a bit more expensive than a lot of the rest of them. But then I remembered, I was saying this beforehand, I found a 20% off discount code, a really old one, but a year old. I said, all right, I'll pop this into the cart. I'll add the discount code, thinking it wouldn't work. €180 off it.
Yeah.
And I had €60 worth of points. So I think the final price, I have it here, because I was just like, I was giddy. Like, the girl can come home and go, what are you so happy about? And I explained to her, and she was not as excited as I was about it. Like, but
you're still spending the best part of £600 anyway.
Yeah. And it's like,
you're like, but so I ended up off.
getting it for €676.14. So I'll just do the conversions on that just to get the general idea. 617. So or 676, and I'll do the conversion. It's a 676. Sorry, this is not interesting TV, but I just go with it. 676. So it's like, that's about $743, and considering the kind of mock-up prices we had was $940, I'll probably get stung for another €100 shipping. Customs could be an issue, but look, it's a gamble. It might not be as good as it said, but I put my money where my mouth is, kind of similar to Eddie. There's the Toys Wonderland. They might be a company next week, but I gotta go with the cheapest, like, you know. And I just got lucky there.
No one's gonna judge.
Really
you
looking forward to it, like, you know. So
I think my view on this is the rooted hair one is going to live or die on, can you take it out of the box and it looks like that? Because although it's clearly a very good rooting job, and as 1/6 Shooter said, this is custom level rooted hair, not Hot Toys, so it's a big difference on the material they use. But you need to be able to take that out of the box and that look like that, because you can't have expect people to style that and say, oh, you need to put a bit of product in and everything, because some people will get it right and some people won't. And now I think that's perfectly possible to do. But it comes down to the packaging, because when you look at how the custom people that do the custom hairing package, they have like proper. It's almost like an acrylic tube, so they'll put the head sculpt in and they mount it on a thing, so it sits, so it doesn't touch anything. So it's so they're going to have something like that, so that that is styled like that in the factory, and then you get it. Untouched. If you decide to fuck it up afterwards, then that's your own problem. But if they put that even in foam, you're going to have some distortion of how that hair's been styled. So I hope that they do it in a like that sort of container where the head is not touching anywhere other than on the neck, the ball joint on the neck. So it's possible. It's possible, and the sort of the prices they're charging, and obviously the level of kind of care that looks like it's gone into this, then you'd like to think that will be the case.
You know, I was thinking this today too. You could always, I mean, I don't know. People put down more money than I did, but I put down about $100 to get the pre-order in, and then I pay the rest when it ships. And this company is pretty good about being very vocal with the community. So there's going to be videos and pictures and everything of the production once it's almost ready to ship. And I'm sure other people will get it sooner, and there'll be reviews and things. And so if it does end up looking like trash or not looking up to par with $1,000 worth of product, then I could just eat the 100 and call it a day.
Exactly.
It is what it is, but I think you gotta at least test it out, you know. And then the other thing I wanted to say is that I didn't mention, I had mentioned it the other day on CW, but I've always been like, I've always really admired people that got into Hot Toys when they started, and like they've been collecting, and I'm not saying that makes them better than other collectors, but I always thought it was cool that people that got in the beginning and they've been collecting this long and they had the original figures. And so I thought, this is my opportunity to jump in with Queen being new to this. And I was like, you know, I could start off at the ground level and see what their first product comes out like. And I thought that was kind of cool. So maybe in 10 years I could be like John or someone and have this shit in the box and, you know.
Only get it out with some black gloves in like 20 years time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a total gamble. I paid off that rooted one in full, and it's a total gamble. You're putting the money down based on prototype images. I think people out there are saying like, oh, we haven't seen anything. You've seen multiple prototype images. Yes, it's a prototype, but there's multiple different angles. There's a video, so you kind of have an idea of what they're trying to achieve. Now, maybe the standard won't be the same, but like, I agree with Eddie again. The speculation isn't going to change their final product, really, is it? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And the good thing about this is it comes from an established company. It isn't like they've never made anything before. Yeah. You know, it's not like fucking Toyota have suddenly decided they're going to make 6-scale figures. Like, it's a company that have made collectibles in the first instance anyhow.
And
so
a very good
we
standard too.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree. Yep, it's a promo, and we have to be, you know, a bit wary about saying that this is 100% what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
But we know that their stuff is pretty near the mark from what they do with their statues. So I'm not as worried as, say, someone like Molecule 8 who just turns up out of nowhere and, you know, fucks everyone. I think they're going to deliver on it. There's a couple of bits where I'm like, it's great that sometimes it's an instance of, we know you can do stuff, but do you really have to? So, a good example is the gun. Well, it's like the guns. It's an Ian thing. It's like the guns on this, right? They're very, very cool, but the fact that you have little 6-scale bullets, I'm like, I'm never going to use that. So maybe don't include that in your cheapest option, because I don't really want to have to pay for someone sitting there making teeny tiny little bullets that no cunt is ever going to use, like ever. You'll get it out once and you'll go, that's really cool, and then you'll put it in and you'll go, well, that's that forever.
You'll drop it and it'll ping off down the back of the sofa.
Yeah, or you lose
find it again.
So I'm all up for innovation and shit like that, but don't give me pointless innovation and then charge me for it. Like, I like the way there's lots of this is magnetized and things like that. I think that's proper innovation. The arms are fantastic. It's the next step from what we've seen other companies do already with you know, the full forearm pieces. I like the way they've said all the bodies are going to be different as well. How much of that I believe, I don't quite think it's going to happen. I think they're going to say, if you're skinny, you get this body. If you're slightly beefy, you're going to get one of these. And then they'll probably pad it out with clothing and stuff. So otherwise, if you'd have to re-engineer a whole body each time you release the figure, you won't hit these types of prices. It's going to be way more.
Yeah.
But I also get why they went in with Ledger, because if it's a new line and they want it to be successful, they picked a really popular character. Loads of people pre-order it, and it means it's more viable for them to then carry on. If they turn round and they just, I don't know, fucking released that, say they'd done fucking Hot Toys, said our first line's going to be the Eternals. No.
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen. No one, no matter how fucking good they are, no cunt's going to back those. So, I get it.
Advertising.
Yeah.
It's great advertising for them. Everyone's talking about it. Like, you're not getting it. You have one. Pete, have no interest. Everyone's talking about it. And everyone, whether we like it or not, it's going to come up in conversation between now and the next 6 months. One inevitably gets delayed. But I just hope it's good. I don't think I could deal with the fallout of, like, I just imagine the thumbnails. I spent $1,000 for what? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. But then, I'm just saying, it's just nice that if this goes to plan, that we will have some legitimate competition for Hot Toys, because they've just been resting on their laurels for quite a long time. So if it's a kick up the arse, and then they end up doing, even if they, because we know they can be a little bit petty, and they go, oh look, here's our Joker 3.0.
Yeah.
My issue is, so if Hot Toys then released one, and it was less than 235 quid, I can see a lot of people opting for that instead, just because of it being a bit cheaper.
Yeah, but I don't think it will be, because I said to you
never
that I
going to
think
happen.
I think it would drive prices up, because.
But I think that's their only option.
Because Hot Toys will say,
I think that's their only option.
They might say, right, this is going to cost you $400, so we'll do you one for $300. So it's still going to be more expensive than it would have been, but it's the cheaper option. So if you want this figure and you don't want to pay the Queen price, so it does worry me that it's just going to lead to this overall just continuing increase in prices.
Sticking up for Hot Toys a little bit, remember, the price that we pay pretty much everywhere isn't Hot Toys' price.
I know.
Whereas Queen, this is their price.
That's true.
Because you can order directly from Queen.
Yep.
They've gone in at that price, and then when you're ordering from like your 1/6 kits and stuff, they're putting their wedge on, right?
True.
So you got to remember. But then we've always said Hot Toys have been very, very lazy with that, and if they'd actually decided that they were going to distribute themselves, it would be interesting to see what happened to prices, because obviously you got Secret Bright base price and then the price for everyone else.
Sure.
Depending.
And where is Queen base? Are they US or are they China?
No, they're Hong Kong, I think. They're
Hong
China
Kong as well.
So obviously everyone's gonna, and I presume they're not going to be marking down values or anything. So you've got to look at some pretty hefty VAT being slapped on that when it comes through UK customs as well, which people might not have thought about. People might not have considered that they could drop 200 quid extra on this for the pleasure. And there's no avoiding it really. You can avoid it by going through, third-party HK sellers. But if you, the only way, and obviously everybody's got.
Might as well just pay it, because you're only going to pay the markup.
Yeah. The other good thing is that apparently there's some sort of exhibition in May where we're going to should see all 6 of their figures that they have teased in that silhouette picture. So that means. Interest for me, Legolas and Gandalf.
Yeah.
I'm interested to see what they look like. I'm not saying that they're going to be definite buys for me, because say Gandalf comes out and he's like £400, he's going to look great, but can I justify swapping out, what is already a very nice Gandalf that I've got and spending that sort of money? If it was the only Lord of the Rings figure I had, then I could say it's that is the one piece that's representing that franchise. But obviously I've got more, and you kind of don't want it to put your other figures out and make your other figures look shit.
Yeah.
So and I don't mind the Asmus Lord of the Rings, to be honest. They've got there's a few nitpicks and stuff with them, but they're not bad. But you run the risk that if you introduce one or two of these ultra high end, that they'll make the others look a bit
Have you seen the amount of Asmus stuff that's hit the groups? The Asmus Lord of the Rings stuff over the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Loads.
Well, the thing is, I don't rate that crown Gandalf. I think they really fucked up with the eyes, and for me, that ruins the whole thing. Yeah, the head sculpts from the Hobbits do so, but they've said that they're not doing Hobbits. Somebody asked them about Frodo, and they said they're not doing it, but who knows? I'm interested to see those guys, but also I like the fact that we've got this new kind of branch of Queen Studios and everything, but I think they've gone a little bit ahead of themselves because they put this weird post up, didn't they, on their Facebook page about what licenses do you want? We can get these licenses. What 80s films do you want? And it's like, well, just slow down a bit. You've got this figure. You've teased some other ones, but don't try and run before you can walk. You're a new
every interview they do. Interview they do, it's like they said the other day, we do the DeLorean, we do that as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, why the hell are they doing a DeLorean? I don't.
Will you or can you? Like, is it just you going? Yeah, I can do that. Yeah.
And they're saying, "No, we want to do Star Wars, but we can't. But that's difficult to get that. And we could do Bond. We can do." And it's like, well, just get this one out, like, and show us some good stuff for the other 5. Get your pre-orders in for that. Start getting some stuff out in hand, and then if you produce what you're soliciting here, then yeah, by all means. But don't, like, I don't know. It just seems a little bit too quick to start this. Oh, we're all on board already. But to say what the problems with the eyes on the Crown Gandalf. Well, they did them as purrs, if you like, or individual things, and they just, to me, they're sunk back too far into the head, and from a lot of angles or a lot of lighting, it just looks like he's got black eyes. But yeah. Sorry,
to
Shane.
me,
No.
Oh, go ahead. My bad.
No.
Oh, they seem like that he was very confident about the Queen's Studios rep. He seemed very, very confident about May. So it sounds like they're going to drop, say, like other similar photos to this for maybe those other silhouettes that we saw.
Correct, because there's some sort of exhibition, so they're all going to be on show
so
there.
So
hopefully
they're PRing towards there. Again, that's another one of those situations where I'm so glad I'm not collecting any of the other ones in the silhouettes, because this is these are wallet killers. If you like those characters and they're this standard and the product ends up like this,
they're it's WonderCon in California that they're going to be at.
Okay.
In Anaheim.
So for you two guys that have ordered them, you've gone, I assume you've gone for the deluxe double pack because you want the rooted hair, but do you not feel that you've kind of been a little bit frog marched into that, in the fact that there's not really a massive difference between the outfits? One's got the jacket on and the gloved hands, one's got the, so, like, because Zach was saying about whether they did it with Gandalf. Well, I think, like, well, what the hell? There's not really. They could do a Hobbit and a Lord of the Rings version, but all it is a little bit of blue stitching on the sleeves of his. There isn't really.
I thought he meant,
or you could do a white and a grey.
That's what I thought he meant. Yeah.
Right. Okay. They could do. Which that would work. But this, they're very similar. You know what I mean? They're if they gave you like the nurse joke. Yeah. If they gave you the nurse Joker and this one, or they gave you the the bank robber, or they gave you the when he's dressed as the policeman, I could get it. But do you not feel like you've been a little bit kind of hoodwinked into buying two very similar figures just to get the rooted hair? Would you sell one? Would you look at selling one?
Yeah.
Do you think people will part these out and
That's
keep
an
one
option.
and sell
I think
one?
they will.
That is a
I think
definite option.
And then all you've got to do is pick a custom coat up, haven't you? And then you've got...
Yeah, I've heard people are going in on pre-orders together.
Yeah,
just
that would make
half
more sense to me.
and taking another. But
yeah,
you get two head sculpts too, though.
Yes, and they are slightly different.
Yeah, they could be a little more different, but slightly.
Yeah.
And then with this, it doesn't bug me too much. I think you have to be a really big Heath Ledger Joker fan though, because
Yeah.
they are two iconic scenes. Obviously, like Shane said, if you do the grenade scene, which you're gonna do with one of them, and then you have the jail cell scene, which is also a very iconic pose, and you have the whole diorama and everything. So it doesn't bug me too much. I think it is like a little sneaky thing, or a little, you know, we're gonna get them this way. It is, but not enough to. I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
No.
But as you say, parting it out is a good option. You could always go in with someone else, or split it out, and so you've only got to pick up a coat.
I'm not very good at that stuff, man. I like to hold on.
I know.
I hold on tight to everything that's in the box.
I don't give a shit. I'll get rid of anything that I'm never going to use. If I can get a few quid for it.
You're a better guy than I am.
Yeah.
I think me and Eddie are similar in that kind of. Like if I was, I don't mind. I don't really sell that often. I tend to buy and keep, and then but the things I have sold, like I don't really sell like head sculpts off or accessories. I'll sell the whole thing. For this, because I would gravitate towards the sculpted hair, and I have the single pack coming and then the double pack rooted. There's 3 Jokers, right?
Right. Yeah.
Now I already know, like, okay, I just couldn't decide about the sculpted or the rooted. So if the rooted comes like frizzy out, and it's like, right, they didn't knock this out of the park, I may end up stuck with them, fine, or I could end up selling them off like in time, and I'll just be patient with that. But if I have them and they all look terrific, like, maybe I will keep the 3, because like, say one is going to go behind me, say one of the ones, the coats, let's say the rooted coat version, he'll be holding the grenade center stage here somewhere. The other version with the jail cell, he could be like either wearing the handcuffs or clapping, sitting right next to my laptop here. I think that'll be just a cool once-off display or in the floating shelves. And down in my living room, I've got a nice kind of IKEA Milsbo. It's like a black frame IKEA cabinet, and it has like 8 spaces with 1 figure each. And because like people be coming into the house, and I like to have like iconic figures there. I don't tend to have like troopers there, or kind of, you know, like a heavy Mandalorian. It's like, you know, you have like, you know, Darth Vader or whoever. The third ledger will go down there. So I already have an idea. If you keep them, you know how you're going to display them. If it comes that it's like, oh, I really like the sculpted better, then I will eventually sell off the 2-pack rooted. But I don't think I'll be like Eddie. I don't think I'll part out either or. That's not an option for me. And look, I just finished on this. It's a bit off on a little mini tangent, but I mentioned at the start, like I teach science and chemistry. I'm constantly getting students to think, okay, do you know that, or do you think that? Is that your hypothesis, or do you know that for a fact? I don't know what this is going to turn out like. I'm predicting it will turn out well. I'm hoping it will turn out well. If it does, super. And I do predict it will turn out well. And I do predict when it turns out well and eventually sells out, I think I'll be able to get my money back, or maybe a little bit of profit if I ever do sell this in time. But I don't know that. It's just I voted with my wallet, and after that, I'm not gonna. Like Eddie, I'm not gonna lose any sleep about this. I'm excited about this. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
There's a lot of optimism on their side. Obviously.
Sometimes the community is like your class, and you got to talk to them like kids. So that's a good point.
You just have to, like, I don't know, like I just we all love collecting. Like, there's no need for that kind of.
I know we've spent a tremendous amount of time on this, but I have another question about it that I'd like to ask you guys.
Cool.
What is the commotion with the magnetized bases? Like, to me, it's a cool thing, I guess, but to me, I feel like depending on how strong that magnet is, it might be a nuisance, or like it could get in the way of posing. Like, if I have a certain pose and the second I put it close to the base, it kind of snaps his feet.
Down.
So I'm interested how strong that will be, and also, like, because I guess the magnet is there to get rid of the crotch grabber or waist grabber or whatever. People don't want that. But those are not really for the feet. They're for the hips and the knees and things like that. So how does the magnet help those issues? You know, like, I just don't see, other than it being a cool thing, I don't see how it's a benefited thing.
For me, with the magnets in the feet, you've got to have really strong ankles.
And these,
because if those are slightly loose, the way your figure will slowly start to lean.
Doing the lean. It's good if you
And
get
at the
because they do
moment-
Michael Jackson.
Smooth
Yeah.
criminal, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
At the moment, a crotch grabber, if your figure starts to lean slightly, the crotch grabber, even if it's not like fucking grabbing your balls like Rolf Harris, even if it's just supporting, even if you have it pushed down, it's still kind of supporting the legs.
Yeah.
It just stops it from leaning. I think if those ankles aren't strong, it will eventually just list over to the front or back. And then with the magnets on the arms, they're going to have to be earth. Everything's going to have to be earth magnets. They have to be really strong. The problem is with magnets, it's not so much them pulling apart. It's them doing that. It's them twisting. So if you've got something in its hand, for argument's sake, that's heavy, and you've got a arm outstretched gun like that, the potential is, if it's weighted a certain way, that could end up going like that as opposed to dropping off. So that's my only real concern with the magnets. I think that the life expectancy of magnets is such a long time, and other, Hot Toys use magnets on backpacks and things like that because they generally don't articulate. So I'm interested to see how the hands work articulation wise, because we don't, most people don't just have the hands a certain way. They put a little turn on them every now and again, and they're holding stuff, and so that's where it would be interesting to see. But looking at these hands, none of them are holding hands. They're not. They don't look like they're holding anything. They're all gesturing. The only hands that seem to be holding stuff are the gloved hands.
Yeah, and they just.
But then, how do they connect? Because if you've got a magnetized, they might. That's the only thing I'm not quite sure on, and that's the only problem I can see with the magnets. Is it turning rather than actually falling off?
Did they say that? Maybe just the jail version is magnets.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
The other one,
Yeah, I think so
pegs.
too. Yeah. And he was never holding anything besides.
No,
did he have,
he's
he had
literally
handcuffs?
just.
Oh, yeah, he's just.
Yeah.
So.
I think
It's a good
One
point.
Six Shooter mentions the Molecule 8 John Lennon base, which is the only figure I can think of that's done the magnetic base, and as shit as that figure was.
John
the
Wayne.
cowboy one.
Yeah, John Wayne.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they work pretty well, to be honest. As
But
I say, as you said, as long
how long's the Molecule 8 one been out for? Because it won't, obviously, it'd be fine for a few years.
5
It's only
years.
going to be.
Yeah.
It's only going to be further down the line that it's going to end up being a problem.
Yeah. All right, they're all magnets.
But
then.
most of the old style crotch grabbers, you have to glue into the stand eventually because they will all end up fucking going like that anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And you could always, it's not like a big issue because you could always buy a base, and people make custom bases, and you could get a crotch grabber base, so it's not like a big thing. I think that sometimes people get more caught up in the it's cool than does it benefit the figure thing.
And that's my point with the little bullets and stuff like that. Do we really need that level of detail? It's a nice to have, and it's cool that people can do it, but do we?
Yeah,
really
exactly.
Need
There's because there's like Full Metal Customs just made a gorgeous revolver for Indy from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it's got all the individual brass bullets, but the thing's $600 for a gun. A gun this big. It's there's always going to be people with that kind of crazy money for customs, but
pretty sure
that's a
you'll
bit
be
too
able
rich
to
for my
actually-
blood.
You'll be actually able to cock it back and fire it.
Yeah,
You'll be
yeah.
working trigger and everything.
Hold my balls. I've already lost the bullets.
He needs to be holding his bullets, man.
Yeah.
More than his name. Mark Pearson
No, they
makes
just-
a good point there, because a lot of people skip bases altogether. I don't use stands or bases myself. I just this one looks particularly nice, but like surely the figure at the very least would have to be able to stand on its own without the base. Like that would be a very low par for something this price. Like, but yeah, like I mean, I'll use this base because it's simple. I like the look of it, and you're paying for it. But some people might use the base.
That's another interesting point. If you have metal shelving, maybe you could use
Yeah.
You walking up the
figures
wall.
easier. Like you would have an excuse to not use bases if they all magnetize to your shelving already. That's an interesting thought too.
If you had more figures like that, you could get a sheet of very thin metal and just put it on your shelf, and then you can plonk whatever you like on it. Then so there's ways about it.
Nice.
For sure. Or get earth magnets and just stick them underneath the underside of your shelf if it's thin enough. Yeah. And then that would work as well. So it was just full of fucking good ideas. That's what we like here. So look, I think we've gone on about the Joker for way too long anyway. So let's have a look at what else has been coming out and announced. So Sideshow, who've never done anything wrong in their lives, have announced that they are going to do a 6-scale Clone Wars Yoda. I, for one, am quite looking forward to their Clone Wars stuff, although the more they delay it, the more they're making me think, fuck you, you prick. I'm just going to cancel. So Yoda's kind of brought me back in. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like, if it is spot on or if it's typical Sideshow fashion. So I'm guessing we're going to see something on that fairly soon. But have any of you guys got any interest in any of their Clone Wars stuff? Like the animated Clone Wars?
Have they...
No.
They announced...
This is like, nope.
Didn't they announce... was it General Kenobi and Anakin?
Yeah. Anakin and Obi, yeah.
Ian's got one pre-order.
Yeah.
Got both. I've paid off Obi-Wan. I've just got to pay off Anakin. And they were meant to be out February. And then the whole world and his wife seemed to get delayed emails, but Sideshow like, Ian doesn't need them. He's a prick. Don't worry about him. I haven't got anything for Django. No. So I've not had emails for Django being delayed. I've not had emails for Obi-Wan and Anakin being delayed. I only knew because of people on the groups posting, pictures of their delayed notifications, which is super helpful to everyone. So I was like, well, fuck you, Sideshow. And I was literally going to get to the point where if they do it again, I'll just fucking cancel. I'll just go, nah, fuck off. But that's
I
me
am
being a moody
interested
prick.
in these. I'm waiting to see how the Kenobi and the Anakin come out, though. Before, Yoda is a really cool character to do. It's interesting that they chose him first. I'm thinking maybe it's because Hot Toys just came out with the Ahsoka, because I would have thought she would be next, because they kind of teased her with the releases of Kenobi and Anakin, but it's cool to see Yoda. But yeah, I'm too wary on what they've done in the past, so I'm waiting for reviews before I jump in.
After Grievous, I got
really excited with that pre-order, and I jumped the gun on that one, and then it came out horribly, and I had to cancel that order, so I'm going to be a little more
I literally, with my Grievous, was like, even if they make it exactly the same, by making it with up-to-date materials, it should be better. That was my logic. And I got it, and I was like, mine wasn't too bad. I could pose mine. Like, I was patient with it, and I could pose it. Yeah. And I didn't mind it too much. But then I got it out again, and then I think I modded the neck on it, and then I was trying to pose it, and I was getting a fucking arseache with it, and I just went, oh, fuck this, and lobbed it. Yeah. Just fucking smashed the leg in half.
Threw it at the wall, yeah.
Literally, I've never...
Felt good, though.
I've got a really shit temper sometimes with like fiddly stuff where I'm just like, fuck off, like that. And that's exactly...
Which is insane, because you're like a modder and a customizer. And
exactly.
That's why I don't do that stuff, because 2 seconds in, I'm like, fuck it, I can't do this.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I did with Grievous, because I started posing it. I was like, those chest bits, I reckon I can pull them in a bit closer. So I took them off, I ground them down, I started gluing them and getting them where they wanted. And then as soon as I was trying to pose it, and as soon as I got because I use one of the bendy arms to pose it, and I was like, started using that. Then one of them came off, and I was like, oh, fucking glue that back on. Then the other one came off again, and literally I just went, oh, fuck off, and just lobbed it on the floor. And I was like, oh, you prick, why have you done that? And I looked down at it and was like, that's the leg snapped in half. That's it all fucked. So I literally scooped up all the bits, put it in a drawer, and went, fuck that. And then it was like 6 weeks later, I was like, okay, I've got to see if I can do anything with it. And I was like, right, I can fix the leg. Right, where's my Dremel? This is just going to have to be battle damaged. And started cutting bits, putting washers on it. I was like, Okay, yeah, no, that'll work now.
It
That'll
came
be
out
fine.
pretty cool though, man.
It did. It worked out okay.
Yeah.
So my temper tantrum worked, but I can't see myself being able to do that with any of these other Clone Wars figures.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm kind of on the fence with it, big time. But yeah. So, but they only announced that a couple of days ago, so it was interesting to see, you know. But like you said, I wasn't expecting Yoda to be the next one.
Price will be interesting on this too, I think. I want to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I mean, it being Sideshow, I can't believe they're going to be sensible about it.
Yeah.
But we will see. We will see. And while we're on the Star Wars train, so Hot Toys have come out with something completely new and original. The KX Enforcer Droid for £185 at Q2 to Q3 2023. So a few days before they dropped this, they put a post up of their quarter scale and said, we're working on the next thing in the Mandalorian line. The Boba Fett line. And as soon as this dropped, I was like, I don't even fucking remember that in there. And then someone's like, it's in a flashback. And I was like, is it? Because I honestly do not remember this in the book of Boba Fett.
We've seen the price that K2SO is going for on eBay.
Someone said it. Because I think we were watching Boba Fett. We did the group watches. So when we saw that episode, someone had mentioned like, oh, there's a K2SO reissue.
Yeah, I vaguely
the second
remember
they saw him on the screen.
Yeah.
So
it was to do with the fall of Mandalore, wasn't it? But yeah, it's a cool design, and obviously, if you don't want to pay the ridiculous prices for K2SOs, then and I expect we'll see them all over the boards. And I've already seen a few. People just trying to get that 400 quid before everyone goes, nah, fuck off. I'm gonna wait for this one and get it for 200.
But the price on this is mental. 185 quid, right? And then when we look at other stuff that's been coming out that's hitting 250, edging to 3, I don't get it, because this seems way more work. Although they've already done it before, but let's be honest, all Hot Toys bodies are the same. You're only really paying for the outfit and the fucking head sculpt, and half the time they reuse some of that shit anyway. Like this seems really cheap for what you're getting, particularly the size of it as well, because. You know, he's not only got the height, he's got the girth as well. He's eye-wateringly big.
Man,
it just seems cheap.
Can anyone explain the difference? I saw Brother Cousins point this out. See, in the middle on the right, it has the gun, and then there's two photos which look identical.
Of the faceplate.
What am I looking at? Are they the same or are they different?
moving eyes.
Is that it? Really?
Yeah, it looks as though like the top one is looking maybe up to the right and the bottom's left.
Yeah.
Could have exaggerated that a bit.
That's what I'm guessing anyway. Maybe it's not.
I mean, I am tempted. I am very tempted. But I don't know. It's one I'll wait for it to come out before I make my mind up. But so we thought this was good. Oh, Hot Toys are really going in it. They're really trying to compete with the Legend now. We've got Hot Toys Galgamesh for £260 out. Who the fuck knows and who really cares? I literally saw this and instantly just thought.
How about new?
It's not like it's great. It's great that you've got something to pair with Angelina Jolie, but no one even wanted the Angelina Jolie figure. So
no. I mean, the only thing you say about it is the head sculpt is really good for the actor it's portraying, but I couldn't stand the film, and I can't think of many films that I'd want figures less from, to be honest. It surprised me, and does that mean we're going to get even more? Because they're not even, like, I would say the two sort of main characters from the movie. So are they got another 3, 4, 5 coming out? And is this popular somewhere in the world? I hated it.
Yeah,
It would
wasn't
be
a great
nice
film.
if they were cheaper, I think, because it's such a big team and they don't come with much. And like you said, it's not super well sought after or super liked film. So If they were cheaper, I could see it being more enticing. But
They will be cheaper
it is,
when no one buys them.
Oh, that's true. That's very
Well,
true.
this smacks of Jor-El all over again.
Oh,
The Man of Steel
Free
Jor-El.
gifts from Sideshow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like the Stan Lee stuff and everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't give the fucker away. Like it will be a cheap figure on the secondary market. But that really does rely on actual someone buying it in the first place, which I can't see happening.
Day one, man.
Great.
Day one.
Shane's going balls deep on it. He's like,
Day
yep, I want
one.
that.
I stay in my lane, man. And once I see a film of this caliber, and once I know Hot Toys are going to complete this line, I'm a completionist. I'm day one.
What Shane hasn't shown you, he's got a whole different detail just for the figures from shit films.
Yeah.
He's like pride of place.
Yeah,
I have the iconic ones in one display case and the shit ones in the other. Like,
Yeah.
I just
Toronto in there. And
yeah,
I didn't
Ray.
like this film. didn't like this film.
no.
You know what
No.
though? Like it's just such a strange one because like it's probably my least favorite MCU movie, and I probably won't rewatch it. And I went to the cinema and I remember I was really bored and it was cold. It was just like there was
So
nothing that
little
was
sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say I
Oh,
think
so you
that
went into
they've
the cinema to
absolutely-
get warm. That was the only reason you went in, was it?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, all right, maybe it'll warm up inside here. It did not. It was cold. I remember it being cold because I was more aware of being cold because the film just did not hold my attention at all.
No.
I do think that the head sculpt is really good though. Like,
It is really good,
And-
and it does
and
look
for people
like
who
the
like
actor,
the
but-
Eternals, maybe if they've seen the comic book and they maybe if they liked it, this will pair very well with Angelina. The colors are unique. Her outfit's kind of a creamy white, and these are really unique colors. I think they will look good together. But yeah, I just I'm not.
I think
it
there's
looks good, but no,
instantly
the
forgettable
shades-
characters, aren't they?
The shades of the outfit is her outfit is an off white of who gives a fuck, and this is a no one gives a shit gold. So they really complement each other in that aspect.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
No, I
Great,
don't think
great
anyone
job on
is.
the head sculpt though. I think.
Yeah.
Like I'm not
Now-
really criticizing the figures, just the source material. Just
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the figures.
And
figures well done.
it's a kind of a moral victory for us thick boys the world over. You know, it's good to have a fuller figured guy, but not enough to want to own him. So
Oh, Hazard Blue, I did. I came to it with no expectations and still thought it was shit.
yeah, me too. Yeah.
But each to his own. If you like it, you like it. So we've gone from the shit to the good. But it's Sideshow again, so it could still be shit.
Yeah.
So we have the Sideshow Dirty Harry, £215 at December 2022 to February 2023, because that's how years work. I like this. I like an older man with a sweater. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I particularly like the hand that's second from the right, which must be a cock holding left hand.
Wow.
A very generous cock at that.
Or the balls.
well, it is
What else
Dirty
is
Harry.
it for? Yeah, he's holding his. But what is that for?
Very dirty Harry.
He has
Yeah.
second from right's the wanking hand, and then
Yeah,
far
definitely.
right is the bum poking hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jeez.
Well, to be fair, they don't call him Dirty Harry for nothing.
No, definitely not.
So yeah, I like this figure. I would be very tempted, very very tempted if it wasn't Sideshow.
Yeah.
The thing is, for me, Sideshow have to release a couple of good figures before I get the taste of Grievous out my mouth. So
You've been waiting a long time, man. You could be waiting a long time. Just these figures, yeah. I don't know. Like this looks good. Like it does look good. I think
Yeah, it does.
the suit looks, considering like the suit is over a jumper and a shirt. It sits nice if it turns out like this, and like you know who it is straight away. The head sculpt and the outfit and the gun, like it's But will it like?
it would just be nice if they could match the colour of the sculpt to the colour of the neck. because that's really like.
Yeah.
It's weird. You don't notice it straight away, but as soon as your eye catches it, you're like, oh, someone's got a lovely pink neck there. Like when the face is like super red. So yeah. But I'm
He's
probably
an
being a
actor,
bit of
man.
a dick.
He has facial makeup on, you know.
That's what it is. That's what it is. It was that scene in Dirty Harry where he went a little bit trans and just was halfway through making up.
Do you know what it was? Basically, when they were
Explains
putting
the
that
head.
red jumper over the head sculpts, the dye off the red jumper came off and went onto the head sculpts.
That's what it is.
And you thought the Jedi cloaks were bad.
Yeah. Don't ever think about taking that that cardigan off.
The inside of
because
his jacket is red.
The inside of the jacket, that shirt will just be ruined.
It's reversible.
Just a pink fucked up shirt underneath.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
No, it
But,
doesn't.
yeah.
I think I'm a bit worried. I'm worried that the head sculpt looks a little bit cartoony, and I suppose it's just the fact that he has got quite a big forehead and like he's got big hair there. But I don't know. It's giving off a little bit of a kind of caricature vibe to me rather than a ultra realistic.
I can tell you now, every single sculpt in this series is going to be exactly the same, just with different hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can just tell because, if you look at Harry Callahan, and then you look at, him in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. There's a few years difference between them, but you can tell with this sculpt, if you were to put a cowboy hat on that, it would be spot on. Like for him in the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, which I know sounds mental because they're the same actor, but there was a few years difference between them. So it wouldn't surprise me if we just keep getting this exact same sculpt with just different hair or the hat.
But then
instead.
also, I think if you did put a hat on this head and the hat sat just above his eyebrows, that'd be a fucking big hat because that is a massive forehead. I know the hair would be pushed down, but it does look. Do you not think it looks a little bit too big, the forehead and the hair?
It's very long. I know he's got a big forehead, but like you say, it's very, very long.
Yeah.
But
I hope it's good. But
moment.
Sideshow, as you say, it's a complete lottery. I think the only decent figure they put out in recent years is the Mythos Obi-Wan. To be honest,
100%.
I don't know what happened there. They just stumbled into something half decent.
But even then, they went back and fucked it up.
Yeah, well, they did. Yeah, the second version they fucked up. Yeah, but
It's a pity because they're. I remember looking at. I think it was really the early days of the Sideshow Hot Toys thing and seeing the Mythos Boba Fett, thinking, "Oh, that looks cool." But then I've heard that the joints are very loose in it.
Oh, it's a typical Sideshow fucking body, and it's just floppy as shit. Like it just wangs around like a limp dick. So you really have to swap the body out. It's like the old clones. So the way their bodies work is like the chest and everything is all like compression. So over the years, it's just worked its way to being really loose, and there's no way to tighten them up. They're just. I've taken them apart and had a look, and there's nothing you can do about it. And because they're a special shape as well, it's not like you can even body swap the old clones. You're fucked. But I know with the Bobber, it's like their Gen 2 body or something, so it's slightly different, but they still just wang around. They're fucking awful. So yeah, but that's how shit Sideshow are. So this.
I just can't. I'm sorry. I was trying really hard to keep a straight face, but
So for everyone listening at home, this is the SW Toys Ladies Spooktacular. 112 quid out Q3 2022. Now it's 112 quid. The facial expression is off that meme and that one bit, so it's a very like you've got one shot with this, that's it. But that face is literally probably the face we pull when we're going through the Facebook groups and people post the same shit and we're like fuck my life.
She looks like Vision just dropped his pants and it wasn't what she was expecting.
My biggest concern is it looks like she's got a dick. under there herself.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Do you know what? She'd give that Batman Forever Robin a run for his money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Wow.
The Robin.
She's packing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that is that. I'm quite jealous. That's quite a.
That might be why we never heard of the third Olsen growing up. Jesus.
Fucking hell, she's
yeah.
packing some heat there.
Yeah.
It's-
Full bush. Yeah.
It's just
It's-
it's just all wrong.
That's so fucking bad.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I mean, the
But
face
even
of
the
that,
face
but-
sculpt.
Yeah.
Even the expression, like,
I've had to put my cursor over it just to hide it.
That's well funny.
But I was on I think it was third party reviews, and they were showing this, and I was like, what is up with the head sculpt? And then he put side by side the exact still of her, and like Elizabeth Olsen is beautiful, and even though she's putting a funny face in the TV, she still looks cute and beautiful. You know what I mean? But this doesn't capture it at all. It doesn't. I don't think it looks like her. It's
Do you know?
very
Do you know
strange
when,
choice.
do you know when we said sometimes they just shouldn't do stuff like with the little 6-scale bullets and stuff? Like, okay, it was a funny part of the show, but the show was quite some time ago now, and really, do we want it? I can't imagine loads of people buying this. Like,
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Do you know
happening.
what she's doing? I know what she's doing. Remember backstage we were talking about what Trump said about bleach? She's reacting to that.
That's
She's reacting to. She's watching that in the
it.
news. Yeah. No, it's,
It's also
She's
made her a
scrolling-
little bit hard while she's thinking of it.
yeah.
She's literally. Fuck's sake.
Oh my god.
She's scrolling through the Facebook groups and she's seen another post where people are going, "My Mando cape's got a hole in it. Is that normal?"
Yeah.
Yeah, what is with that? I got one of those recently. Mine's got a hole in it.
Jesus.
It's weird that. Oh,
Would you believe that I have the Beskar, and I have the OG, and the two of them have holes in them.
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mine
Wow.
had that. I just cut the capes off in the end because it must have been some kind of horrible mistake.
Yeah.
And you
I
know
can't
what?
believe you
could
got
use that
two and they both got the hole in
Oh
that.
yeah. But if you cut off the capes, you could use that to make a poncho that doesn't stain Ahsoka's face.
That's it.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Perfect. Or I could
That's it.
cut his cape off and stick it on Sauron. So I'm going to do that after the show.
There you go.
Yeah.
You could do. So I think that's enough of Boner, whatever a girl is. So
Boner
this Boner girl. So this dropped a couple of hours ago. This is the Toys Born Werewolf Wolverine to everyone else. 135 quid at Q4 2022. I really like this.
Yeah, can
I've
I just
seen
say
some really good kit bashes on it, and
thanks
I really
once
like
again
it.
to 1/6 Kit for the 360p image here. Love him to death, but trying to get screenshots off that website, they're always really shocking. But yeah. So yeah, it's effectively a Vietnam era Wolverine. Looks pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I'd like we said before, Marvel we've kind of moved away from, but I must admit this does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
And, did you ever play the Wolverine game with Hugh Jackman? That was meant to be very
What platform
very
was it on?
loose. I think it was Was it PS2?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
It was
Yeah, long
it was
way back.
loosely based on the film, but it literally just veered straight off and did its own thing. It was really, really good. And you played for a big chunk of it in this kind of Vietnam-y type outfit. But as you played it and you just kept getting shot up, like big chunks of you would just be missing, and you would regenerate it back. It's really good. And this just makes me think of that. And I think for 135 quid, I like it. I think I could.
Yeah.
I think I could live with that.
Yeah, and you got the bone claws there as well. It's quite cool. Obviously
I
being
thought the bone claws were a bit more jagged.
pre-adamantium. I think they are, but obviously the res is quite low. I mean, the bone claws that came with the Hot Toys figures were pretty good. They were quite jagged and quite had sort of like a ripple on them. So I think they probably are. They just look. You just can't really make it out, but yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then this is a weird one. Caustic Plastic, The Great Dictator. This is out late 2022. So obviously it's Charlie Chaplin, not Hitler. So a regular will cost you £235, a deluxe will cost you £268, and the exclusive is £309. God knows what the difference is because it's such a weird figure.
Rooted hair. It's rooted hair.
Yeah.
Rooted mustache.
Yeah, that's
rooted
it.
mustache.
Nice.
Yeah. Tiny little rooted mustache.
One of them's just sitting on a bench clapping. But yeah, it looks okay.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. I'm not a big Chaplin fan, so
No, I'm not. I mean, I guess it's obviously it's a parody on Hitler. I assume, obviously, yeah. I'm not a big fan. I think they're just really funny, aren't they? The Infinite Studios. That they're very diverse in their. You know, they've got the. They just did what's his face from Pink Panther and Inspector Clouseau. They've done various bits. They've got Dracula coming, bits and pieces. So they've like every single release is like just miles away from anything else, and I like that. And I like there's different stuff, but I can't see. Well, they've obviously done their homework, but you'd think that it's got to be a very limited market for this kind of figure.
Yeah, those fucking prices.
I don't know anyone that's a Charlie Chaplin fan, to be honest.
No.
They're probably all dead. I'd have said they're all dead, to be honest. But
yeah, it's very, very niche within a niche. Almost.
Yeah, odd. And I guess I get that they've got some talented guys working for them and everything, and they're kind of showcasing their skills. But at the same time, they've got to sell figures to make money, and I'm just not sure who's buying this. But prove me wrong, I suppose. But an odd one, and I've never seen the film, and I have no interest in going to go watch it now. So
the symbols on the hat and the arm patch, are they going to be like that, or do they just have it?
No, they're going to be Nike.
I think that's
Nike.
how it is in the movie. I think that's how it is.
They're going to be Nike ticks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. No, I don't think that's placeholder for proper. I think that's what it'll be. Because it's just
I'm
a
not.
parody
I'm
thing, I
not sure
think.
what he.
It's on the
what he
base
had
as
in
well,
the what he had in the film.
Yeah, maybe.
Of course
in
you're
the
not sure
film
because
they
you've
actually
never
have them.
fucking seen it. So make
What's
out
it
like
called?
you
The
might have
Great
seen
Dictator?
it once, and you go, "Oh, I can't quite remember." I mean, have you
Yeah.
ever? I've
No,
never watched
he
a
does
single
have.
Chaplin film.
I've seen clips, but I've never. Yeah, he does have two little X's.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's not like it's a.
I was more a Howard Lloyd fan myself.
I don't know any
yeah.
of those people.
He was another one of these silent movie kind of a bit like Chaplin did all these crazy.
So these are
stunts and stuff.
the movies that play the gray and the black and white scene, and then they play the words after. Is that what these movies are? Where they show?
Yeah.
This
You should have like
one.
a
the
card
words?
saying,
Yeah.
Peril as he hangs off the clock.
Oh,
And
my
Harold
God.
Lloyd, I don't know. It used to be on when I used to come home.
I'd rather
from
watch
school.
Eternals.
So this. So he does quite a famous speech from this, but this is spoken. So this
This is a
hasn't got the.
talkie.
Yeah,
they
this
called
is a
them then.
talkie. It would have been one of the
Yeah.
first talkies, I think.
Yeah. But
So,
anyway, yeah, nice.
a little bit of history for you there.
I tell you what, it looks better than this.
It does, doesn't it? The CyberX Studios, The Survivor, £121 at Q4 2022. Why? Why? You can tell how pumped we are by this because
It's
just silence, just nothing. It's like
Yeah.
why?
I mean, I've not even watched the movie yet, so I don't even know.
You don't.
kind of thing.
Yeah, don't.
No,
I mean, if,
no, exactly.
yeah.
Diminishing returns.
it's literally made me hate the first Matrix film.
Oh god.
I'm like, I can't even go back and watch it because I'm like, what's the fucking point? It's all just, everything's pointless. It's just shit.
And that's what I've heard. And then I read some review that says it's like it's so clever and it's so like meta and all this sort of thing. And you think, no. That's not what I've heard. So it's just shit.
I read reviews like that, and I just think every time I read a review like that, this is all I think.
What a cunt.
Pretentious cunt.
Yeah, I can't be doing it.
You know what though? They got Ian's cat in the proper pose there, so that's
they have.
Hilarious.
If they just had that the other,
just pissing. Yeah.
If they had that just the other side.
Is this
of the
your
door,
cat, Ian? Yeah.
I'll tell you, it's oddly accurate. It is oddly accurate because my cat is in fact a black cat.
You know
that prick. So
wow.
yeah, it is.
There you go.
Wow.
It is pretty much accurate.
You think the pills are 1/6 or are they 1-to-1? Because if you think small bullets are gonna get lost easy, you are not even gonna be able to pick up those pills.
I hope they're 1-to-1, and I hope people actually swallow them.
Yeah. If you bought this figure, maybe you should swallow it.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And you Americans, I mean, they had to ban Kinder eggs there because the kids were eating the toys. I mean, fucking hell.
Tide Pods. We pretty much put everything we can in our mouth, I guess.
And that's why I can't wait to meet Manny.
Jesus, man. Took a turn for the worse.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I can't really stick up for Americans.
Yeah, you just set him up for this. I was like, yeah, he's not getting away with this one. He's just not getting away with it.
They have to put a bitter coating on batches so people don't eat those. Oh, fucking hell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look, man.
It's the bit where you put it gets on your tongue and it goes. Zzz. That's the bit where you stop. You don't tastes a bit bitter.
Seriously. Wow.
Yeah.
So anyway, has anyone got anything to say about this? Rubber duck's cool. I mean,
I don't even
was bad.
Yeah, I don't even remember the rubber duck, and I don't even remember him wearing a black condom on the top of his head. Like,
Yeah.
It's just bad.
Oh, and the clothes look awful as well. Like
Yeah,
they just
it
look
doesn't-
awful
it doesn't sit
anyway,
well.
even as real clothes. So
And the more you stare at that sculpt on the left, which is exactly the same as the one on the right, but for some reason the one on the left looks as though someone's punched him in the throat. Like it's got a weird like divot out the side of his fucking neck. And it just looks
Yeah.
it just looks less and less like him the more you stare at it. And it looks as though he's equally as confused as why you've bought this as you would be when you open it up. It's just not good, is it?
we're brought to you by the company that made our favourite
Rocky Goes
figure
Bowling.
of all time, Rocky Goes Bowling. Yep. So sometimes they bring out a banger, and sometimes they miss the target. So we'll eagerly await their next release.
I quite like the green sludge that they're pouring on it when they took the photo as well. That also looks very, very good.
He's in the Matrix, man. Come on.
He's in financial difficulties if he's had to make that fucking film.
Definitely, yeah.
So, look, we've gone through the shit. So let's look at something good here. So this is the Lego Back to the Future DeLorean, 150 quid. So a little bit nicer on your wallet than some of the other shit we've been showing you. And it's not a joke. This is at 1st of April 2022, so just round the corner. I love this.
Me too. I'm trying to tell myself I don't need this, but I will buy this.
I know. That's exactly what. Because when I was looking for the price and stuff and went on the Lego website, I was like, yeah, I don't need that. That's just, don't be silly. Don't be silly, Ian. And then I was like, you do need it. You really do need it. Because the more I look at it, I'm like, you've got the hover conversion, you've got the part 3.
Yeah,
you've got,
that's what I love. You've got all the bits. And I would probably have it in the hover version. That would, and it just looks like a really cool build. I had the one they brought out a few years ago, which was quite a small one.
Weird, wasn't it?
It was weird. Yeah, there was some like the way that the the roof didn't really connect and stuff like that. But for the time, it was cool. But I saw this and I was like, oh, yeah, I mean, I don't need
What
it.
I like about this is I'm not seeing a lot of studs.
Yeah, that's the thing. As you know, I'm a sucker for... I think all you got to do is cover those two up on the sides of the front bumper and you're good to go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know why they've chosen to leave those, but all you got to do is buy a couple of 1x2 flats pieces, and you are sorted. And I just nicked those out of my boy's Lego box anyway. So,
I mean, how big is this?
It's 37 centimeters, so it's a decent size. Obviously, it's much bigger than minifig scale. Probably scales well with the Batmobile stuff that they brought out. It's nearly 2,000 pieces, so it's a fun build. It's got a light up. What do you call it? I was say arc reactor. What the fuck? It's not bloody Iron Man.
Flux capacitor, mate. Get
flux
it right.
capacitor. That's the one. Yeah. I like it. So I think I might be buying it.
I think I might be as well. Might be saving my pennies.
Yeah. I do love Lego.
What's the price on it, or do you have it?
It's $150 UK, $170, I think. So it's not bad for
Lego. It's not bad for 2,000 pieces.
Yeah. It's such a good set, though. Like just this, DeLorean just lends itself so well to like cinema and even just like these kind of sets. Like it's just especially you get all three of them. Like it's just really, really cool. Yeah.
I was really tempted by the Playmobil one as well because that looks really good as well.
Yeah.
But I always feel weird buying Playmobil because I'm a grown man. But then I collect toys anyway, so it shouldn't make any difference.
Yeah. But this looks like the nuts. So I think
it looks,
I will get this. Mm-hmm.
It looks really good for a Lego vehicle too. Like a lot of, I don't like some of them that look too Lego-y for my taste, like too blocky, I guess. Or this one's very smooth and.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I think that apart from those, I mean, what I tend to do is I'll start looking once there's some reviews and stuff, and I have a look and see where I can see studs. But as I say, apart from those, the two right at the front there, which looks on that sort of bluish colour, I can't really see anything else. They've done really, really good job, on the bonnet and bits and pieces. And I love it.
Yeah, I really, really like it.
Yeah,
really like.
I think the only thing that Zach said, it would have been nice to have versions of the figures for all three. I mean, they don't go in. They're not scaled to the car. They're not meant to go in it. But it would be nice to have, the cowboy ones.
If you're getting all three,
because we've got them from Back to the Future 2. I mean, why go with that one? Not. But
all three.
Other than that, and I'm not buying it for the minifigs, so it doesn't really bother me.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But it's a cool set. So I think for me, that's the best thing on this week's show.
Yeah,
you guys are gonna have to join Bricks and Brews at some point and build this.
Yeah, but I don't feel like making Lego at like 4 a.m.
No, as I say, I think I prefer sleep. But
it's not 4 a.m. Bricks and Brews is like in the middle of the day for you guys. It's like now. It would be like now. Yeah,
or
earlier, a little bit earlier, maybe.
I could do that.
Maybe
I could do that.
I think you guys could make
Lego
Bricks
set.
and Brews.
Yeah,
someday.
We'll think about it. If I get this,
wow.
then I might.
Pete's acting all cool.
Someday they'll bless us over there. You'd be someday.
Yeah. No. I don't. Yeah. I'll come. Yeah.
I'll buy myself some Lego and I'll have I'll fill
Well,
with Lego.
We know Pete will at least try. Ian will not give a fuck and won't even make it.
Yeah.
So
I just sit there. You'll never see what I'm making until we get to the end. It's just a giant Lego penis. Just go there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything different.
So look, we got to that time of the show where we're going to say a big thank you to our sponsors by playing their advert.
Backdrops and bases displays are printed directly to substrate on foam display board using UV matte inks, so there is no fade or glare. The nameplates are precision etched using their in-house laser machine. They offer a very bespoke service designing displays and nameplates to your requirements. You can contact Backdrops and Bases via their Facebook page, Backdrops and Bases.
Thank you, gents. Yeah, hit them up if you want to think. They are very, very good people. I've just noticed something in the comments. I didn't realise Mark had a lisp.
Jesus.
I said
Well,
Mark's got a
after
lisp.
he doesn't have a lisp until after like 4 vodka cranberries, and then it just pops up. You know?
Yeah.
Then it's there. It's there.
So yeah,
look,
I've just dropped the Facebook link in for Backdrops and Bases if you fancy having a look at some of their stuff.
Cool. So let's go straight into them.
Custom Corner.
Which should have been shenanigans, but I fucked up.
Yeah, that's
so
what I thought.
pick.
So I thought I'll go with it, and I just skipped on an extra slide. So we'll go back to shenanigans.
Good lad.
Yeah?
That's what we like. Just stay with this. We do shenanigans in a minute.
I've done this show with you long enough, Ian.
Exactly. He knows I fuck up on a weekly basis. I'm just thankful my internet ain't crashed out like he did last time. Like it's gone so far.
Yeah, but we're still on. Yeah,
we're still on.
Still on.
So I've worked on a few little bits and pieces over the last couple of weeks. It's nice to get back on it after the whole COVID shenanigans and it kicking my ass. So I decided to paint up my Kane Obi-Wan sculpt, the Mythos one, which I've had for about a year, just sitting on my side and not had a chance to do. So I thought, paint that up and stick it on my Sideshow Obi-Wan that I'd already weathered. Now, the problem with that is that the Sideshow body has a neck, and so did the sculpt. So I had to hack that off with my Dremel, drill it out a bit, and just kind of wedge it on, because the neck on the Sideshow body is a bit kind of it's like a foreskin that's too large. It just wangs about a bit. So you have to really kind of like wedge that fucker on to get it to work. But it came out okay, and I much prefer the Kane sculpt, which is based on the second head sculpt that comes with the big Mythos Obi-Wan statue. Sideshow decided just to go with the one that's kind of a younger Alec Guinness than the kind of combination of Alec Guinness and Ewan McGregor. So I finished.
I quite like it. It's not a bad sculpt. I quite like it, but I know that you like this one, and it looks good. And as we said before, it's one of Sideshow's rare wins for recent figures. It's a great figure. If you got the V1, obviously, not the V2 with single elbows and
but you can't bend the arms and do what it shows you on the box. Which
exactly.
Is, yeah. So I finished that off, cool. And then I had a load of bits left over from that I'd either printed or just hadn't used, or I died and then not used. So I decided to whack them all into a Mando. That I kind of looked at photos of the, do you know the Boba Fett game that was meant to come out that never came out? So I kind of looked at pictures of that and wanted a bit more of a stripped down Mando than what we've had before. So I ended up just shoving that together with bits of spare parts and stuff. So
where's that staff thing from? Is that from Grievous?
That comes with Grievous, So I've had that knocking around, and I thought actually I kind of like, because in Fallen Order these guys with the giant fucking those staffs, and they're utter bastards. And I thought it would kind of look good if he had that as opposed to a blaster. And then I nicked Aragon's roll that he has when he's in the Stalker version. You know, when he's got his bedroll on his back. So I thought I'd nick that and shove that on there. And a few other bits and pieces. And then...
because you've got the Sideshow one, haven't you? Yeah, that came with the bedroll.
Yeah, so I shoved that on there. And then I've got a load of like bits down here that I need to finish off that I can crack back on with soon.
So question, Obi-Wan related. Who would be interested in picking up the inevitable figure from the new show that obviously we've not seen much of his look, but it's presumably not going to be massively different from what we see in the Mythos. You guys potentially looking at picking up the Kenobi figure when they inevitably...
I probably would.
Yeah, I would.
They'll have to get that hair so well conditioned. Just, like, his hair's on point. I'll have to see if the show's good.
Yeah.
Because after the Book of Boba Fett,
Yeah,
I'm
it's a
bit
shame when a show
cautiously
kind
optimistic.
of dents your view of a character. you know that people.
I'm fairly good at compartmentalizing. Like it's
Yeah.
Empire Strikes Back. Yeah, Return of the Jedi. Yeah, loved his return in Mando, but yeah, I'm very good at forgetting things I need. But yeah, the show's good. The show's good.
I mean, I think I'd be interested, even if the show isn't as amazing as I want it to be. I just love Obi-Wan. I think he's a great character, and I could see myself picking up another one. So yeah, I'm certainly excited for the show, and I imagine that Hot Toys won't waste any time getting a figure together for that.
Yeah, mind you, looking at that track record so far, it wouldn't surprise me if we got some like a different Tusken Raider or something like that before we get Obi-Wan.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a real tertiary character, or like Luke Skywalker as a child. We'll get that.
They're going to have to tell a story about it. Yeah,
Jar with blue eyes.
Story. Yeah. They'll probably have to like outline like.
Oh, we'll get that. Yeah, we'll get like the 9-year-old Luke, won't we?
Well, they don't really do kids though. A lot of the time.
No, they won't. Only the little baby one. So we're going back to shenanigans.
Wow. Go on, let's go back to shenanigans.
What? So what is this shit, man?
This shit is more sideshow shit. So they you effectively now, if you have anything on pre-order with Sideshow, if you have anything on order with Sideshow, go in and check your pre-orders. Just sounds like Pete just ejaculated, which was a lovely sound in my earrose there. Just a little.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, that's never apologise, Pete. Own it. Oh fucking hell! You can tell I'm tired, can't you? So this is go into your pre-orders and you have to confirm that you are going to not cancel.
Okay.
If it's delayed. So effectively what this means is that you have a crystal ball and you're going to say, I'm happy for you to keep my deposit effectively, because now no matter how long, how much they delay stuff, you've clicked the little box to say, I'm going to keep it, because the delays have been getting absolutely fucking insane.
They've sort of switched from an opt in to an opt out to an opt in, because before that you could ask them for your money back if it was being delayed, whereas now they're saying we're automatically going to cancel it unless you say you want to keep it.
Yeah. So what they say is they're not going to get. They say that they won't definitely cancel it, but you're at risk of if it keeps getting pushed back, of them just cancelling a load of orders.
Okay. Right.
Unless you've ticked this box to say, I'm happy. So I went through and I just ticked it for stuff like my Back to the Future stuff, Django, and I think maybe the Rebel stuff. The thing is, for most stuff is a £25 deposit. I'm happy to lose that. It's just I don't want to I don't want to lose it on everything, because then it soon adds up. So I don't mind on the odd bit here and there, but the problem is everything's getting delayed, and the expected window is literally like from June. And there's a lot of stuff that was going to be spaced out through the year.
Why don't you get that deposit back, though, because it's been delayed?
If you haven't ticked this, then you should.
Yeah. So you're not going to lose any money. You just potentially could lose the order. The pre-order.
Yeah. You're what they will do. So even if you paid it off, so I had done like Snowspeeder Luke, right? Or sorry, one of my Obi-Wan that I paid off. I still had to tick this to say I still want it if it's delayed.
Okay.
Because because they could potentially just go, right, refund him. You'll just get refunded whatever you paid.
On current orders, you had to go back and check it off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because on new orders, it's automatically checked, right?
Yeah. I think so, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know
I had to go back
check mine.
I had to go back and check them all.
Is that them trying to protect themselves? For example, if you had a figure paid off and it's delayed like 6 months, and you're like, you see, I don't know, the Devil, Toys Wonderland, or someone else selling that same figure right now for half price. Is that them protecting themselves? So if you tick this box,
Pretty
then
much.
you don't have the option to refund, get everything in your energy
So
back.
yeah, so you could still contact them and say, I want my money back. You just get it back minus the NRD.
Yeah.
Which in 9 out of 10 times is still, you could still probably go to a Hong Kong-based company and get the figure and not have to put any money towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I've 3 orders left with Sideshow, 2 of which are paid off, and I'm just getting out of Sideshow.
Yeah, I'm running my pre-orders down. I think that the good thing with Sideshow is it's their customer service.
Yes,
you can't really
yes,
argue the
100%,
toss. It's
100%,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Their payment plans are pretty good, are quite handy. I don't mind paying the import fees a lot of the time, because what I've found over the last couple of years is that actually by the time I've accounted for the import fees, I was paying probably most times it was pretty much the same as most Hong Kong sellers were selling for. Occasionally it would be like occasionally it would be like £10 more than them, but at least I had the comfort, because someone put in the groups, one of the, let's be honest, it's fucking Toys Blunderland. Someone had a problem and they literally said, keep the figure and you get a scale of how much we're going to give you back.
Yeah.
But we're not going to give you it in money. We're just going to give you it as money off your next order. Well, if it's that shit, why am I ever going to order off you again?
You see, like I've never had a problem with them, and I had one problem with them, but they overcompensated. They refunded me to give me 20% off discount, which is kind of like one of the things I used earlier on.
Yeah.
And they sent me a free Remnant Trooper, but I'm pretty sure they had forgotten they'd already refunded me for the thing that they'd lost. So I think it's like, it wasn't them being, oh, we're going to look after this customer. It was them.
It was more a mistake.
Fucking up. So I'm wondering, like, okay, so if they're messing up on things like that, which benefit me, they're obviously messing up on things that, screw people over. So it's just, I think I want to steer away from them as well, because I know it's probably only a matter of time. So my point is that I think if it happens, you do have to really argue with them. You shouldn't have to. Sideshow would just be like, oh, there's a problem. You're missing a panel, you're missing a nameplate, there's something broken. Send it back. And I love that. But with Toys One and that, I think you really have to dig the heels in and argue back. Like I'm just stubborn by nature, that kind of way. I'd be like, no, sorry, whether you're a reseller or not, I'm not letting this go. And if I have to send them 50 emails, I will. But I know that is not good customer service, so you shouldn't have to send them more than one email if there's a problem on their end. Like,
but I think some of there are a lot of Hong Kong sellers that are like that. And I get, shipping's super high for them. So I get that they're going to try everything they can, not for you not to send anything back. But this with Sideshow is just, I was just thinking, it's such a ball ache. It's such a ball ache. And it really makes you have to sit there and really think about, do I really want this figure? Because I've already gone through and cancelled a load of shit that I'd ordered that I don't want anymore. And with Hot Toys particularly, you're looking at 2 years a lot of the time for stuff to come out. What I was into 2 years ago, I'm not so much bothered about. My plan was to have a big old Mando display, and now I've kind of gone. I stick with the main guys, but I'm not even bothered about Bo-Katan anymore. And that was like a day one pre-order for me. And now I'm like, well, I can just get a third party John Cena sculpt and that'll do. Like, I don't need.
Oh, that's funny.
So but then having to go back through and say, yes, no matter what happens, I won't cancel this order. I think in this climate as well, with the cost of living increase and stuff like that, you don't know. No. So you're pretty much clicking this box to go, fucking to keep my money, whatever happens. Which is a bit of a weird one.
What if you check this box and you do want to cancel your order? Do you get your money back then, after it's delayed? Or would they try to say like, well, you checked the box, so
you would get your money back, but you wouldn't get your deposit back.
Yeah, so they're not protecting you. It's protect my order. It's basically protecting them, so they get a minimum off your deposit.
Yeah.
Even if there's a delay, because like they used to pay you back when the delay is, right?
Yeah.
So if you check the box and there is a delay, and you decide, you know what, I checked the box, but I do want to cancel it, they're not giving you your money back?
No, I don't think so.
Damn.
So the way
That
the way it came through was that effectively you have to tick it because no matter if it's delayed, you ain't going to get it back. And if something keeps getting pushed back, they can go in and they can just cancel your order. So even if you want it and you're willing to wait, if you don't tick the box, they could just cancel it.
Wow.
Yeah, which is
They
fun.
just want to make everything easier for themselves. Huh?
Pretty much. And to add insult to injury, I think every time they cancel your order, they send you a free General Grievous. So it's just
to really get you. You know,
yeah, just to really fuck you over.
Rubbing salt in the wound, yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Go on then, Mr. P. Do your bit with the thousands of names that I can't pronounce.
Yeah. So it's got to that point in the show. We're going to thank all our Patreon subscribers. We've got Sean Fear, Ian CB, Rennie Mendes, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leah Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber, James Colley, Equan, Chris Fallon Serena, Ben Thomas, Chris Leddy, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator, Joao Brader, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Corrett, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mike Cruz, Lisa Martin Bomonsky, Rick De Gregorio. So always the one that's a real tricky one. Now, Alvin Jules, John the Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Asusina, The Illustrious Rainer, Alid Morgan, Takar 3, Wah, Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Maton, Bowler Boy, Jimmy Jones, Stephen Purchase, Sean Yauchi, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Jesse Contreras, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Bow, 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 bow. That's one for you there, Dean. You beautiful angels. You keep the lights on. We love your support in the chat with the shows and everything. So really appreciate the support.
I fucked you up with the logo there, didn't I? Right over the slide.
Oh, he remembered. Huh.
I was
Nice.
impressed.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
very impressed.
I wasn't
Very
looking at that. I was looking looking at it on my screen, so I didn't even notice. Sorry, Matt, and a little bit of Seth.
Yeah, I know.
We
You
read them
covered
out,
up Seth.
so
You covered up Seth,
yeah.
and it looks a little bit like fucker there. So.
It does. There we
There
go.
you go. There you go. If I do that one, it fucks everyone up.
Yeah. Nah, that's fine, mate. No problem. So if you're not already on the Patreon and you fancy getting on board, we got Sweet Angel, $5 per month. You get stickers sent straight to your door, as well as access to Ox After Dark. Certified Crispy tier, $15 a month. Official certified Crispy certificate on first pledge. Scissors for figure fixes by Zach, and all the benefits of the previous tier. And the Water Guy is getting some sweet swag now. So you've got the you get doubles of the stickers, so you can send them to your families and friends. You also get the Water Guy exclusive Pogs Deluxe set on first pledge. I mean, who doesn't love Pogs? Something that we never thought would see the light of day again, but it's been resurrected mainly on the fact that Zach had never heard of them, and then he suddenly discovered that what he'd missed out on 30 years later. So you're going to get some of those, and also I believe you can. I think you have to message Zach for it, but you can also, if you're in the Water Guy tier, you're eligible for the Live and Let Dice D20 official D20 dice, which is really cool. I think Zach said there's 7 or 8 left, so message him if you're in that tier and you fancy one of those, because that's pretty cool. So we have got
Show the world you're a virgin with a D20 dice.
Yeah, exactly. We are still just in March, so I'll just go. So we've got the Pose Wars Hollow sticker and the Dylan sticker, but these are obviously due to run out soon as we go into April. Now we've got a very cool sticker sheets. We've got the network sticker sheet, but it's I think Zach says it's a 4x6 sticker, but each individual shows its own sticker. And Zach showed it on his water bottles. That's a very cool one. That is, so they all peel off separately. So that's got the whole network on there, which Ian will take us through with his expert commentary later on in the show, and the Jambo. And I watched the film that was in the 13 hours the other night. Very good. I know it was a film of the week. Long time ago for you guys. And
that actor that does the Jumbo,
yeah,
he is the guy that's playing Master Chief in the new series.
Oh, okay.
Is he?
Yeah, he was good. I liked him. He was cool.
Yeah, I haven't seen the series. I don't think he takes his helmet off or anything. He's just Master Chief, right? But
I heard that that the director turned around and said, "Yeah, we ignored the games," and everyone's gone.
Ooh, I didn't know that. You hate to see
really?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like,
why would you do that?
Like, even if you have, don't tell anyone, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake.
don't.
Ouch.
Like, don't do it.
You hate to
Yep.
see
So
Oh.
the left-handed Jumbo, which is cool. So we got that.
I didn't realise it said Jambo to begin with. I just thought it was like a bloody hand.
That's what John said, didn't he? He thought it was like I don't know,
Yeah.
like some sort of autopsy, like muscles or something, or
Like
it's
strips of
very
flesh.
cool. It's very cool.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, good movie. 13 hours. If you've not seen it, enjoyed that. Yeah, here we are, and here's the top tier bonus item for April. Compliments of yes, the ultimate angel, very very generous from Paul Schreiber, who paid for these to be made.
They
those
do
are the
look
top
cool.
tier yep. We'll get April 14th. We'll get one custom D20 with that Illuminate Dice icon. So yeah, they are very cool. I mean, obviously, is that the number? The one with the logo on, is that the number one, or does it have 21 sides and a spare one for the logo?
I don't even know what the
how
fuck
does that
this
work?
is. So you're asking the wrong person.
Well, it's a D20. It's a 20-sided dice, but one of them's obviously got
Okay.
this logo thing on there. Does that count as the one, or has it got 21
It would
sides?
either be the one or the 20. I'd
or
imagine.
the 20. Yeah.
Because I know normally, like with the D6 dice, like when you play 40k, sometimes you can get I think the 6 is like a symbol.
Yeah.
So
I
I guess
assumed
it's
it was
the highest
one of the numbers.
number.
Yeah.
They don't
It's
think
a
that
role
far
playing
ahead,
thing,
Pete. They just put this shit out there, and
Yeah. They're gonna be
you're
like, oh,
giving
shit.
them way too much credit here.
Yeah. I hope I haven't, upset anyone there, but yeah. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and become a channel member. We have got Mojo Z78, Absolute Irwin, Test Just 1, DK Avenger 702, OMFG Rick, Mike Oxlong, X Beam. You laugh every week, Ian.
Every week.
You're
Every
easily amused. Andreas
It's better
IB.
with your accent, honestly. It's so much better.
Daminator, Sam Gist, OG Fan, the Pembreakers, Mark Pearson, Ben Thomas, Justin Arras, Paul Schreiber, Andrew Givo, CC3PO, and Lima Hernandez. So thank you for that. If
I
you're a
don't get the last
Patreon,
one.
you can subscribe for 99 cents a month. Or if you're not in Patreon, you can become part of the Peanut Gallery for $2.99 per month, and you get a shout out from us there. So beautiful, and loyalty badges and emojis and all kind of things like that. We still have TeePublic as far as I know. So if you want a cool T-shirt,
I love that. As far as we know, we still do this shit. So.
as far as we know, because you don't really hear a lot about it, but you can still buy them, I think. So
Only ever buy them if they're on sale. Don't pay full price.
no, exactly. They're always on sale, so anytime.
The first
But,
quote, is that a quote from someone on Collecting Weekly?
Yeah, it's an old quote.
It's you, Eddie, wasn't it?
Old
From,
one.
It's one of your
I was
favourites.
just
Yeah.
saying,
Yeah.
we need to bring that one back. We haven't said it in a long time.
Yeah, that's a
That's
good
fun.
one.
I can't.
that
I
one.
can't get my catchphrase printed on a T-shirt. They refuse to print it.
I have that shirt, the verse one, and
Yeah.
I get a lot of looks in public with that one. I do. I thought it was something I was doing. I was like, I must be looking good today. I think I lost a little weight.
Yeah.
Got my hair right, and I don't think so. I think people are like, who's this degenerate ass? Yeah.
You haven't been punched or anything yet, then, for wearing it. Hasn't
He
turned
always
to
looks
physical
like that.
violence. Yeah. Right, enough of me. Take it away in.
Okay, so this is our network. I don't know if you've ever heard of any of these shows before. I mean, they're not as good as OFAC, but we like to spread the love. So we got Collecting Weekly Live, and that is in fact, as the title suggests, every week. Some say, is there enough to talk about every week? No, but they make it work, and that's what's important.
And sometimes
After
they
Dark,
throw in an extra show just to get in front of us.
That's Collecting Twice Weekly. You see, that's the Collecting,
Or three
that's a
or three
different
times
show.
if it's a busy week. Yeah.
Collecting, we got nothing better to do with our time.
Collecting, we can't let OFAC get the scoop on this one.
Jesus.
So we've got
Anyway, that's
After
old
Dark.
news.
So we got After Dark, which is the seedier side of the collecting world. Lots of back-to-back wanking, all that kind of stuff. So this is, well worth watching. For us, it's about like 4 or 5 in the morning. So sometimes I wake up to it, which is quite nice. Other times it's a really strange erection, so I don't bother. Collecting Weekly Live unboxing. It's literally John goes into his basement, pushes aside everyone he's got down there, just gets a box out, opens it up, gets some black gloves on, latex, because it doesn't leave fingerprints, and takes out something from the archive and go on.
I need to know the story of how John was buying these expensive statues when he was like 16.
Well, little known fact, John has an arsehole like a chewed orange, which goes to explain how he can afford all this stuff back in his younger days. So
He must there's something going on there, because they certainly don't pay postmen that decent money in this country.
Jesus.
Well, let's just say he was delivering packages from a young age.
Got it.
So we've got the Collectors Club, which is a club just for collectors. They won't let people like me in because it's just not cool. We've got OFAC, the Jewel in the Crown.
It's above our pay grade, Ian.
It's above our pay grade. We're just not in it. OFAC, the Jewel in the Crown. The reason why we're all here. The peak of professionalism, where we don't fuck slides up, never swear, and always give you the honest opinion of what we think of stuff.
Yeah.
And in and outs of collecting, it's just not been the same since Mario left. Let's be honest, it's just not as good. But Eddie's flying the flag. He's doing the best he can.
He's doing the best
we love
he
him.
can, and that's all we can ask.
We love him. We brought him on today to show him how it works. So hopefully he'll take the lessons he's learned and carry that forward. Bricks and Brews.
You're definitely
we're probably
our favourite. Yeah, our favourite non-UK or Ireland-based CW host, Eddie.
Wow,
I told you.
Appreciate that.
I would
You
let
guys
Eddie,
are my favorite, with Americans included. So
Oh wow!
I would let
That's
Eddie do
surprising.
terrible things. So
I'm with his head though. Get in there,
well, that's why I shave. It just slides off. So we got Bricks and Brews, which is grown men playing with Lego on camera. I'm pretty sure people do that on OnlyFans, but we do it here on Bricks and Brews. We got Pose Wars, which is just the various hosts posing in different provocative stances. And I think Dean's winning that so far. I think the Arsters chaps really pushed him to the top. We've got Small Talk, which is the tiny, teeny things in life that just come out constantly, just fucking hit you in the face every single fucking week with shit coming out. I don't know how they do it.
No.
The Ringcast, which is all about Lord of the Rings, nothing to do with your battered arsehole. And Live and Let Dice, which is, has someone who plays Warhammer 40,000, I can look down on these people because it is the slightly nerdier side of throwing dice about. But in all seriousness, the shows are great. They're all fantastic. Everyone works very, very hard for me to slag them off every single week, which I mostly appreciate. So thank you all. And make sure that you do watch these guys because they are very, very good people, and they are very, very good shows.
Definitely.
And if I don't say that, Zach will have me killed.
That's true.
He will.
No, it is.
Seriously,
you can
literally.
basically tune in any night of the week, and somebody be on giving you some new live content, and it's a great network to be part of, and great team effort. Ringcast, I think, is going to be Saturday. It's long overdue, and Zach is pressuring Mark to get that one off. I'm not sure if I'll be on it. I might get on it later on, but obviously, Ian, if you want to fill in, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I'll see. I'm a busy man, Pete. I'll see what my schedule.
Yeah, exactly.
But I do genuinely like going on the Ringcast because I don't have to do any prep. I don't have to do that. I just turn up and talk utter shit for a few hours. So, it isn't as well rehearsed as this.
No. So hopefully that'll be coming very soon. Next episode of Ringcast. Yeah. I think we've got one more slide, which is the collecting weekly clips. So, it used to be you, Eddie, but I believe John runs this now, and it's all the funny shit.
We're never on there because we're just too lazy to send anything across.
We have been. I've seen us on there, but not.
I think it's because John just can't care to watch your show. So.
No.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you would have thought that.
To be fair, he doesn't get signal in the basement, so it's really hard.
That's right.
That's right. Being Canadian, I know he's on the French side, but his sense of humour should be more in line with ours than the American. But if he doesn't appreciate our work, that's fine. That's fine. We still love you, John, but
too much of a gentleman to stoop himself to our level down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Join us down in the mud. It's fun down here.
But I mean, thanks again to Shane and Eddie for joining us. It's been a great show. Thanks everyone in the chat. A very lively chat, very good.
It's been a good one today.
Yeah.
It's been good.
So we shall catch you all next time.
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.